Hello, everybody. I forgot for a moment that I'm actually monitoring my mic, so I had to just close that. Thank you. I was hearing my own voice in my headphones. Hi, friends. It's been a week. This is so exciting. We're on a weekly schedule. We get to see your non-existent faces so much more often. Yay! Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 11 of Transplanar RPG, an all-transgender person of color led 100% homebrew, non-colonial, anti-orientalist Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign. Actual play live stream campaign. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Connie. My pronouns are they, he, and she. I am the GM and executive producer behind Transplanar RPG. As a person, I'm interested in horror, screenwriting, improv, monstrosity, myth-making, diaspora, family, and memory. You can find me on Twitter at @byconniechong and on Twitch and Tumblr at @DandDaddyIssues. I am also a professional GM with Magpie Games' curated play program, so if you want to play as a teenage superhero taking care of a monster baby in a 4-session Masks campaign starting Monday, November 16th, from 6 to 10 p.m. Central for only $50 for 4 sessions, go to magpiegames.com and check out their curated play program. You can also wait until the last minute, because sometimes tickets are given out for free if there's not enough players, but if you want to ensure your spot is snagged, go there and sign up. I'm going to pass introductions along to C.
Hey there, there we go. Here,
Maybe I regret passing it.
Hi everyone, my name is C. I use they, them pronouns. I'm gay. I am a digital artist, dancer, and jack of many hats. You can find me on Twitter at PieSharpArt. I made the character art that you can see around here and on the waiting room screens. I am sitting across from Connie today, so I'm trying to be loud, which also means that if Connie does something bad, I can bonk them from here, just right over the monitor, and I'll be on the other side. So I'm watching you, Connie.
Yeah, C's mic is going to sound low because we're sharing a mic. We have to be in the same room because there's some COVID sickness risks that are happening in our apartment right now, so it's not really safe for us to be out in the hallway. So C and I do have to share a mic. So that is what is happening. If y'all literally...
I'll shout!
Yeah, C, you should shout. You should, literally project. Use your stage voice, C. Aren't you an actor? Don't you know how to use your stage voice, C? Come on.
You want me to bonk you already?
I'm talking louder than you, and the mic is right here. No! Okay, cool. So we're going to continue. I'm going to pass introductions along to Devin.
Oh my god, alright. Hello, everyone. My name's Devin. I use they, them pronouns. I have no internet presence, but you couldn't find me on our Discord, which I'm going to put in chat. What is !Discord? Thank you, Bengal.org, for the sub. I am a linguist, East Asian linguist, specifically Japanese, but really only Japanese. And jazz musician. So ask me, and also ethnomusicologist, so ask me about musics of the world, and music making and musicking, as some person coined some years ago.
Musicology is a doctor. It's a doctor for music.
Yes.
It's true.
You cure notes. If that's...
I make music worse. I mean better. I mean, no, actually worse. All right.
Why don't you pass your introduction along to someone else?
I'll pass it on to Max.
Hello, I'm Max. I go by they, them pronouns. I play the Aarakocra Ranger Dewey Court, and I'm officially 1 week on T.
Yeah! Woo!
Hype in chat.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram or Tumblr at Starchmonger. Yeah, Erica, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Erica, she, her pronouns. I play Vinoct Scherzo, the lovable charlatan elf sorceress. You can find me on any social media at Erica New Girl, and that includes but is not limited to here on Twitch, where I do stream 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Fridays. MTF. Get it? Get it? It actually took Devin to point that out to me, by the way.
I thought it was on purpose.
I wish. And yeah, I play a lot of horror games. People like to make me get scared by using my scare alerts. So if you want to see Erica have a heart attack, and I'd also like to just take a moment This hot chocolate was brought to me by our own mod, Toaster, and it is the most effing delicious elixir of life I've ever drank in my entire life. So shout out to Toaster. And with that, I will pass it back to Connie.
Wonderful. I also want to acknowledge that Max Morkson also just gifted a sub to someone, so we are now 2 along our track. We'll get to the explanation of our brand new dono/sub goal in just a moment, but before we get there, C, would you like to release our usual statement that we always say?
Yeah, let me just pull that up because I forgot about we'd like to open our episode, as always, by saying fuck Wizards of the Coast, and also fuck Donald Trump, by the way. And you can use the the exclamation point WOTC command in chat at any time to get a full stance on our stance. A full stance on our stance. Connie, please tell us what's happening. I can't do this.
Yeah, okay, I'll help you out here. You seem a little out of it, so let me jump in and give you some assistance. So as a reminder, we play our main campaign weekly right here on Twitch, Saturdays at 3 p.m. Central, so tune in next week, not 2 weeks from now, next week, Saturday, November 14th at 3 p.m. Central for episode 12 of our main campaign, plus join us Tuesday and Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. for our solo and group gaming nights, where 1 or 2 or multiple members of our cast will play Overwatch, Final Fantasy XIV, Overcooked 2, Stardew Valley, and much, much more. Professor Chong's Tabletop Workshop, my GM advice series, is now moving to every other Sunday. There should be one this Sunday, but I'm actually going to be taking a break this weekend, so join us in 2 Sundays for the next Professor Chong's. And now, C, would you like to present our promo partnerships?
I would. We are also super proud to present our promo partnerships with other BIMPOC, queer folks, and or trans folks in the tabletop community. So use exclamation point promo partners at any time for a full list of folks in our scrolling marquee in the waiting rooms. And we also have such a super special partnership with Games by B, who makes one-of-a-kind handmade custom D&D and tabletop accessories on their Etsy store. And all Transplanar fans get 10% off anything in their store. It doesn't even have to be Transplanar related, with the coupon Transplanar10. And for a link to their store, you can use the exclamation point Games by B command in chat. And speaking of stores, we also have our official merch store up and running. You can use the exclamation point merch command to get to our Redbubble page, get yourself a sticker, a mask, a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, an iPhone case, a hat, a mask. Go ahead, go get it.
Great, thanks, C.
Erica, take it away with our donor thanks, if you would be so kind.
All right. We would like to acknowledge everyone who's also donated, subscribed, gift subbed, resubbed, gave bits, everything, gave donos to Tigers last weekend during our Halloween marathon stream, session 10, lecture 8 of Professor Chong's Tabletop Workshop, and our solo and group video game nights. Those people were Rytel, Cyber Levels, Blythe Web, Ashmore DM, Throne Aligned, Sheldengeki, Dudgeon Meowster, Pope World Build, Tawny FM, Rondow, Sissy Riddle, Black Dog Blue, Lucid Timmy, Vivity of Voletti, Who Blew Mama of Goblins. I love these names. H. Piawati, EDF 825, Crispy Goth, Ed Fortune, McHamo, Tavern, Finnegan, Intern Pesta Nocte, Bevo 17, W. Davies, Hawkacucks, Fung Fu Pie, Worm Cultist, Yikes It's Tristan, Oria Vera, Max Morkson, Casseroni Live, Woo Buffet A93, Red Bananas, Erica New Girl, Bangalore, Harper Sona, Sunny May 18, Toaster Mayo Chip, Margaret Catter TV, Casual Loop, One Capture Designed, Anonymous, Bangle Org, and B. Woof. And a special change to our donation goal for this episode. We're replacing our $120 dono goal with a 25 sub goal. At 5 subs, you grant us 1 collective inspiration. At 15 subs, you grant us 1 auto crit. And at 25 subs, you unlock yet another player backstory.
That is true. Woo! And you can access those reward tiers at any time by using exclamation point sub if you forget what they are. Thank you so much, Erica. And now, Max, would you like to get a recap of what happened episode 10?
Will do. As a reminder, you can always access the written recap of every episode by using exclamation point recap in the chat, or by going to bit.ly/recap. So here's what happened last session. Dewey fought the Myriad, the assassin sent after him by the URL. Partway through the fight, the Myriad stops and tells Dewey about the Stranger Wolf, and reveals that his god is interested in learning the truth. Dewey reluctantly agrees to help the Myriad at a future date in exchange for sparing his life. Somewhere in a cult's basement, V roasted some chicken monsters with a very impressive fireball. After pausing to loot a corpse of its gold, she has a same-face moment with the priest she recognizes. He drops her disguise and proposes a business deal of sorts. He invites her through the doorway to be judged to see if she's worthy of the Chrysalis.
Mm-hmm.
Even further underground, Øka and Manaia fight the Face Stealer. Highlights of this fight include 60 plus points of damage in one turn, an Øka catapult, and a grisly beheading of the monster. Unfortunately, their victory is cut short when another head pops out of them.
Yep, like a Hydra. So yeah, Devin, would you like to talk about the title for this episode, and then we'll get right into it?
Yeah. So, yeah. Voice crack. So as normal, as is tradition, we have a title of each episode, which is taken usually from a poem by people of color, women, trans, non-binary, and gender-expansive people, etc. And the title of today's episode is In Pieces Yet at Peace, which is from a book called Yesterday I Was the Moon by Noor Unahar. It's on page 61. And the whole verse reads,
Open up the book. Open it.
In pieces yet at peace, I am a building in a post-war city.
Thank you, Devin.
It's a good book. You should buy it.
It's beautiful.
Yesterday I Was the Moon.
If y'all see me gesturing like this, that means I want C to speak up.
I really need you to stop doing that.
I will stop doing that. But just so you know, I know you're really, really quiet for our viewers. I don't want them to miss any of the beautiful things you say. So moving right into the session itself, some content warnings for this episode may include the following described in vague terms or heavily implied: imprisonment, torture, dismemberment, body mutilation, and forced drugging. And we will begin now, as always, with a poem I wrote, a gift to my players. The jaguar eating the deer. The insects turning into other insects. Trees sprouting from the hollow of other trees. The forest is a place where things change. Even the girl, suspended in canopy for a lifetime, face cracked open with surprise, until her body ragdolls against the leaves and her chest spills. The forest holds its breath, waiting for the curtain to fall, or maybe for it to rise. Emerging from the girl, bathed in blood, radiant and grim, something her sisters don't remember. Your face, stricken like lightning, gasping, storming yourself to life. You are an antler's width from nightfall. How the grove leans away from you, marveling, terrified. The mother who cannot recognize her own child, turning them away at the threshold. All life has a price. All blood comes from somewhere. Who did you kill to become exactly who you are? And we're gonna start the session with Øka and Manaia. The two of you stand, as we left you in episode 10, in quite a predicament, I would say. Before you, this monstrous being, this face stealer, as it was named, with its long giraffe-like neck, spurting blood just mere moments ago in the middle of this cheering, raucous arena of bloodthirsty audience members. Now, from the stump, the bloodied, blackened stump of its neck that Manaia, you hewed off with the assistance of this huge, muscular drow woman, and of course, Øka, our Aasimar blood hunter, out sprouts a second head with a different face, and the three men who were unfortunately killed, you see their faces appear on this creature's body. And now Manaia standing there in shock, Øka gripping your sword, your Dao. What do the two of you do? It is currently... Whose turn was it? Manaia's turn.
Damn, I wasn't prepared to go first. The chopped off head, is it still moving?
It seems to be immobile, but why don't you make, I'm not gonna ask you for a check, actually. You see it, like, twitching a couple times. Maybe in, like, the death spasms.
Okay.
What do you do?
I suppose I'll attempt to cut off the leg. Because it's still upside down, and it's still partially bound, right?
Yes.
Or did that wear off?
It takes like a minute to wear off, so not yet.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no. In that case, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm just gonna try to chop off a leg.
Okay, make an attack roll. Manaia, as you surge forward with your axe, swinging, just so you know, Øka, it is your turn next. What do you do?
Øka is, hold on, let me get my captions on. Øka is hovering a few feet in the air. The Blood Curse with Binding is still active. I would like to, I don't know if this will count as my action, but I would like to use my Hunter's Bane to try to recall any information about how to fight regenerative monsters, because I know this isn't the first regenerative monster Øka has probably seen or at least heard of.
Sure, that is true. So why don't you make an intelligence check with whatever boons or bonuses you get from being a blood hunter. Devin, what did you get for your attack roll?
17 for my first attack.
That is sufficient. Roll damage on your first attack. Okay, what did you get?
A 17.
A 17. Yes, fighting regenerative monsters, there's usually some kind of weakness in the regeneration. You remember hydras, you have to cauterize the wound or attack them with fire. Based on how this thing has been reacting, fire might be a way to go. I'm not sure if any of you have... Well, you did use fire, actually, when you attacked it. But the blow that hewed its neck off, I forget if it was made with fire. It was with the axe, exactly. So that wasn't able to cauterize it, if that is even what will cause it to stop regenerating. Though you also do notice this thing looks pretty shaky, like it's on its last legs. No pun intended given Manaia's attempts right now. The fact that it was like absorbing these three men's faces and their life force probably means it's pretty low on whatever health it has, and it only has the one neck. So presumably if you attack other limbs, other parts of its body, it won't regenerate. It seems to primarily come from the neck. That's what you can tell with your 17.
Okay.
Okay. Manaia, what'd you roll for damage?
15.
You hack one of its claw-like feet off. The crowd goes wild as the foot just skitters across the arena, and more jet black blood sort of gushes from the stump. And this creature lets out a human-like wail as the various faces, wrinkled faces on its twisting, pallid, skinny, skin-like body begin to writhe in agony. Do you have a second attack, Manaia?
I do.
Go for it.
Just going down the line. Next
Going down
leg.
the line, next leg, make an attack roll. And Øka, what are you doing?
Øka's gonna shout, take its faces off, all of them, all the faces, take them off. And they're gonna, since the head is probably the tallest one that most people won't be able to get to, they're going to go for that one.
Okay.
Just attack. Just gonna attack with sword.
Go for the attack. So the face that regenerated, or one of the other faces? Okay, you're gonna attack that one. All right, make an attack roll. Devin, what did you get for yours?
16 to hit.
All right, roll damage. And C, let me know. Øka.
18 for the first one, and balls.
Balls.
I'm gonna use another of my inspirations.
Okay, you don't have any left now.
Okay.
Cool.
That's a 19 damage.
19 damage from Manaia. Yeah, you're hacking off the leg, right? Not one of the faces, like Øka said.
Would I have time to like pivot around and go for one of the faces?
You have time.
Okay.
Okay, you go for one of the faces. You twist around and you shave off one of the faces from its body. Basically, you're like flaying it. You flay the face off, and you swear, Manaia, as that face comes off and there's a chorus of humanly wails, you swear to Mahu that you hear this face peel off, you hear it thank you. As the face comes off and it falls onto the ground, revealing like black flesh underneath. And something else very interesting. Instead of just flesh, you see an indentation, almost like a pouch going in that was there behind the face. Make an Arcana check for me, Manaia, and Øka, what did you get for your attack roll?
My first attack roll was an 18, my second one was a 12.
8, they hit. Your first one hits, your second one would not. You can try to spend, you have 9 points of collective inspiration. You can try to spend one if you want.
Oh, another one? Yeah, what the hell?
Go for it. So make it another attack roll. Manaia, what did you get for your Arcana check?
Manaia is not familiar with magic, so I rolled a 6, and I don't think I'm going to reroll that one.
Sounds good. Something feels off. Like your sixth sense. Everyone has it. Some people are more attuned than others. You still have it, even though you're not very attuned to magic. Something feels off. That's all you can really feel with a 6 for your Arcana. C, what did you get on your reroll?
Hold on. I got a natural 18.
A natural 18, that is more than sufficient. Roll damage.
Yep, I'm rolling it.
For both of your attacks. Are you attacking the face with both of them?
If the first one comes off, I'll go to the second one.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you get for your first one, damage?
I need like 1 second.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. So Manaia, you see, however, with your eyes, you can still see, even if you can't really sense with your arcane intuition, let's say. Yeah, this is actually very similar to the sack that y'all took from that scorpion creature that attacked you at camp on your way to Dabathati, this capital of the Republic of Talmud, where you currently are. Looks similar. C, what did you get?
13 points of piercing damage, 5 points of radiant damage. I fucking forgot that when I have my radiant soul on, I do extra radiant damage.
You gotta remember that.
5 points of radiant damage and 3 points of fire damage.
Okay. Yeah, you take its face off. You just shear it off and it flies. And just like Manaia, you swear, you hear a voice, right? You swear, voice coming from this thing's mouth as it flies through the air. A thank you, a whispered gratitude as you free it from its chain of suffering being stitched onto this monster. And yeah, similar to Manaia, right there, floating in the air, you see like instead of just like a flesh, you see an indentation and a sack behind where the face is. Make an Arcana check for me before you resolve your second attack roll.
Only a 10.
Only a 10. Well, that's higher than a 6. Yeah, something is off here for sure. It's similar to the feeling you got when you slew the Coedo at its behest. And you can assume, based on what you learned from Dr. Luso, even with a 10, that there was presumably a soul inside this satchel that has just been released and is gone now forever.
It's gone.
It's gone. That's the wrongness. It's gone. It's left.
But it's not in the bag?
Well, you open the bag. You slice the face off, you open the bag. Basically, the face with the 10 seemed to have been acting as a stopper of sorts, vestibule, and now it's just the neck that's open and presumably it's gone. You can feel the weave tugging at you in a wrong way.
Oh, Øka goes, oh fuck, don't chop the faces off! Don't chop them off! Just kill it! Fuck. Oka's actually gonna, I would forego my extra attack. It sucks that I used a point of inspiration on it, but whatever. If this would take too long, but I think Øka wants to stick their hand into the bag instead. Actually just jab their sword into the face so they can hold on and stick their hand in to see if they can grab anything in there.
Okay. You reach your hand inside, it feels empty. The question is, can you grab a soul? Unless you have some sort of extra power that allows you to touch, you can't do that right now at your power level and with the abilities you have. I'm just gonna straight up tell you. You reach inside, C has green screened for me. I cannot see C's face. Does C seem okay for everyone else?
Frozen, but...
Okay, that's a little odd. Let's just keep going, because the most important thing here anyway is your voice. So let's just keep playing. Yeah, see, you reach inside, you don't, you reach inside, you don't seem to scoop anything, it feels empty, right?
Uh-huh.
Empty.
I can't go deeper. There's an end.
There is an end. You sort of scrape the end of a fleshy soul bag, let's say.
Okay.
What do you do?
Can I still use my extra attack?
Yeah, I mean, and it still hits, so you can roll damage too. Just tell me where you're hitting it.
Øka's gonna take their hand out and put their sword in.
And just jab it? Okay, roll damage.
Yep.
Okay.
That is, I already rolled damage. 9 points of piercing damage, 5 points of radiant damage, and 3 points of fire damage.
That is going to be enough to kill this thing. So Øka, tell me, how do you kill it?
Yeah, just taking the, like, their sword, like, they pull their hand out, they fly back 1 beat, they put the hilt of their sword against their chest, and they go as far in as they can.
Okay, you just...
In the hole that's already there.
Cool. You drive your dao just down that tunnel of its neck, and you split this thing open, and it dies in an explosion of black gore and keening voices. But the most horrifying thing about this thing's death is that when it actually drops to what legs remains and falls onto its huge, hulking, wrinkled side, the faces continue to wail, even as the body becomes immobile. And y'all are no longer in combat, but yeah, as soon as this thing drops to its knees and falls over, the stadium just erupts in raucous cheering. You hear the announcer. His voice had sort of faded out for y'all, and in the heat of battle, you weren't really listening to what this guy was saying, but you could hear him go, and the winner, the newcomers. No one knows who either 3 of these people are, but they've won. They've beaten the Face Stealer. Holy bananas. As just everyone is just screaming. You see even a few people, like, they're pumping their fists. A few particularly excited attendees are waving their masks in the air and covering their faces, right? Because they have nothing else to wave, or waving handkerchiefs. Everyone is just going buck wild. And in this moment of odd, vicious, violent victory, what do the two of you do?
Øka's gonna continue to be in the air for a moment. Are we still wearing our masks? I can't remember.
Yeah, you're still wearing your, like, kind of, like, crappy masks that Manaia made.
Øka's gonna pull theirs down. Don't do this at home, kids! But Øka's gonna pull their... Don't do this at home! I even hate saying it. It sounds wrong when it comes out of my mouth. I'm sorry. We're in a fantasy world. It's okay. Øka's gonna pull their mask down, like, to their neck, and look around, and just, like, look for Ravi.
Okay, make a perception check. Manaia?
Manaia's gonna watch Øka. She's kind of lost.
Okay. What did you get, Øka?
23.
23! You look around the stadium at all these cheering masked faces. Again, masks would make it really, really hard for you to tell if Ravi is even in the audience. You see a few hobgoblins, you know, that you think could maybe fit her stature, but either, like, the size, the height is wrong, or the hair is wrong. None of these are Ravi. You don't seem to find her, actually, but you do see a part of the gate open, and two gates open. The edge of the arena itself, and also one of the iron gates on one of the ends of the oval of the arena, let's say. You hear a groaning of steel and chains clinking against chains as the portcullis opens, and a bunch of people, like, rush out. You know, like, the same jockeys as earlier. They rush out with, like, their like, sticks and hoops on the ends of sticks, and they begin to, like lash the hoops onto the ends of the limbs and the neck, and they start to drag this creature. They begin to drag this creature back into the depths of the arena. Okay. And the other part of the wall that opened, coming out surrounded by bodyguards, by muscular men and women alike, standing in the middle is Lady Saram, dressed in her sort of, like, petticoat, like this frilly sort of pink gothic Lolita outfit, wearing her little parasol, and you see she's wearing an eye patch on one of her eyes, and she's smiling very, very wide at the 3 of you, you Manaia, you Øka, and the drow woman, who is now, she's, like, leashed her whip back and has put it back against her hip. And Lady Saram, she sort of walks forward, accompanied by no fewer than 6 bodyguards all around her, who sort of like stand like Men in Black style, you know, flanking. And she lifts up a hand, and the stadium like quiets down as Lady Saram lifts a hand, a gloved, white gloved hand. She smiles at the 3 of you, and she says, "Wow." Her black teeth glistening, this half-elf woman. That was quite the show. I'm very impressed by the 3 of you. I've never seen anything like that. What are your names?
Øka is going to come back and land next to Manaia.
Okay.
And they're all the time kind of like glancing at where they're taking the monster. They're like glancing over their shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And they give like a halfway remark. They're like, Øka.
Øka. And you?
Manaia shakes her head. She's like, Manaia.
Manaia. And you. And the large drow woman just sort of looks her up and down and says, Rev. And Lady Saram says, well, Øka, Manaia, Rev, I have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for the 3 of you, let's say. I would love to sponsor you 3 as the new champions of the pits. What do you say?
Where's that going? Where is that thing going?
Oh, the face stealer? We're disposing of the body. We're seeing if it's still alive, and then we're gonna dispose of the body.
There's still souls in it.
Excuse me?
Extract them?
So this is not common knowledge, that these creatures contain souls at all. So what you're saying, makes her look really, like, kind of confused.
Oh yeah.
And she says, souls? What do you mean by that? Are you referring to the faces? I mean, if you'd like to keep them as trophies, I suppose I can't say no to our new champions shaving the rest of them off.
That's not what I mean, but I don't think that, you're not going to dispose of it right away, right?
Well, not immediately, no. We're probably going to keep them back in, put it back in the cage and make sure it doesn't come back to life. That's happened a few times with these monsters, actually, and we're trying to avoid that situation much as we can. But rest assured, the best of our guild are keeping a staunch eye upon the monster, and then, yes, we shall kill it. Get rid of it. Dispose of the body.
Øka puts a hand on Manaia's elbow, and gestures toward where they're taking the body. But they're not very charismatic, so I don't think this is their talking out of this is not going to go well for us, so they're going to try to stay a little bit quieter.
Manaia's still a bit shaken, so she looks at Øka and is like shakes her head.
Well, I know it can be overwhelming to think about my proposition surrounded by so many adoring fans, so why don't the 3 of you accompany me back to my office? We can talk about this in privacy. This was the last event of the night anyway.
Fine.
Very well. Smart. Follow me. And Lady Saram turns and the bodyguard sort of herd you back toward where she came. And with that, with your eye drifting toward where the monster's being dragged by no fewer than 8 or 10 jockeys, dragging this huge thing's body across the dirt. The 2 of you follow Lady Saram. And with that, we transition to Dewey. Dewey, you stand in the middle of a interdimensional pocket, a pocket dimension, let's say, surrounded by crates, either invisible or visible. You sit on top of a pile of invisible crates, alone in this vast, ceilingless, wall-less room. Your sword sort of twirling lazily and a little jitterily above you. What do you do?
Can I see a door?
You look around, make a perception check for me, please.
Make a perception check. Where's my d20?
Where is your d20?
Oh dear. Oh god. 13?
13. As you look around, I would like you to roll a d6 for me.
I thought they were going to say D1000 again, and I was like,
No.
Right.
I am so tempted to just bust another.
Bust a
box.
move.
I got a 6.
Okay, that's funny. Okay.
Oh no.
Something got shifted around. What happened?
Devin.
We lost to Devin.
Devin got disconnected, so all of our faces are all over on the overlay. But we're just gonna wait for Devin to come back. And everyone's faces have been shifted.
Hello,
Erica is now in
Erica.
Devin's spot. I think once Devin turned,
Sorry.
yeah, there we go. No worries, welcome back. That was just a minor scuffling. With a 6, with a 13, Dewey, are you staying on top of your crate? You're not moving.
I want to scope out the door before I start.
Okay, so sort of on this mini mountain, let's say, you're looking around, you hear your sword in your mind go, that was fun! We should do that again! I had a lot of fun. Did you have fun?
No.
No?
But
Why not?
You did okay.
Oh,
you
just
did well.
okay?
You did well.
Really?
We'll work on it, yeah.
Oh,
Here,
there's
come back.
room for improvement? I'm not just perfect already without trying?
There's always room. Come back here. And he reaches out his hand.
Oh, okay. But I did good overall, right? Like at least a B+.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Yay! B+! And the sword whirls around and with your praise, unlike anything before, your praise seems to be working instead of scolding. It whirls around and it sheaths itself happily for now. And with a 13 and a 6, you see a door suddenly open out of nowhere. From nothingness, a door opens, maybe let's say like 60 feet away from you, not in the same position where you came in, like a different area of this extra dimensional pocket. And as it opens, you hear a voice kind of go, just one moment, I'll check in the back. And you see a large, kind of like a panda-like person. Just like a large panda bear person, like anthropomorphic panda, dressed in the silver and blue robes that indicate the kingdom of Tulong. Strides in and she is chewing on a sprig of tobacco and is strides in, doesn't seem to see you immediately, but leaves the door open, and beyond the door with a 13 you can see what appears to be like a shop, a bustling shop, like the back of like a counter and like people inside, you know. And she bustles and doesn't see you immediately and starts like rifling through like some of the boxes and then goes, wait, now where did it, hold on. And she looks around and sees that like a lot of it is invisible, or rather doesn't see, and then her eyes go up to you as she freezes.
I got lost. And then he beelines for the door.
Oh, what? Are you gonna fly? Tell me how you beeline.
I like clamber down the pile of boxes and then.
You're not gonna fly? Dewey, you can fly. Okay, fine. You clamber down the boxes and you start hoofing it toward the door, and she goes, oh, hold on. And she holds, she throws out a big panda bear arm, and she goes, slow down there, kid. What do you mean you got lost? Dude, was it Omar?
Who?
Oh, I guess not. How did you get in here? This place is restricted. Only the shopkeepers can come in here.
I got in through that, and he points behind him at where the door he came in was.
The doors shift all the time. Do you remember who it was? If it wasn't Omar, could it have been Kahula? Wara? Amara?
Can I just go?
Where'd you come from, kid? This probably isn't where you want to be. This is Dokao.
Huh?
The capital of Toulon? Look, kid, you're real lucky you ran into me, Miss Pow Pow of everyone, okay? Pow Pow the panda bear. You're really lucky you ran into me because I'm the most forgiving of the 5 of us, okay? So just tell me who let you in or who did you... I'm not gonna get mad. I'll just help you find home.
I came from Amara's shop.
Amara, so that's gotta be Dabathati, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well just... I'll be just another moment. She sort of calls toward the door, and she brings out a big keychain with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with 5 keys on it, each a different color. And she takes out the red one. She starts going over toward, like, she starts walking. She says, well, follow me.
Okay.
She goes over to, like, a blank area of space, and she goes, I think it's over, I'm not quite, yeah, here it is. And she seems to fit the key into, like, a non-existent keyhole and turn, just like she's doing it into air. But then you hear a lock click, and then, like, the seams of light appear, and it forming a doorway. She says, okay, well, here you go. As she opens the door. As she's doing it, she says, Amara let you in? Really? Why?
Well, I don't know. You should check on Amara, though.
Oh, we do have a board meeting coming up. I guess I'll talk to her about it. Is she trying to run one of those, like, valued customer programs again, where she gives you a tour of the back room and...
Yeah, that was it. I was in it for the... I was back here for the rewards.
Huh. And she just left you here? That doesn't seem like her.
I don't know where she is.
She just...
You should check in on her.
She disappeared?
You should check in.
See, I was trying to tell Omar this space is unstable. Any of us could end up anywhere. Flying out in the astral sea? Well, okay. Just don't...
I leave.
Oh, bye! And you leave. You leave through this door, you close it, and you're back in the shop. You're back in Amara's arcane armor and ammunition. It's closed. It's dark now. Sun's starting to set. You're behind the counter, and the door swings shut behind you, and you hear a lock click. Even if you wanted to, it would be locked, and you wouldn't really be able to easily enter the back room again. What do?
Are there extra sets? Can I look for extra sets of keys behind the counter?
Yeah, make an investigation roll as you look around, you're alone. There is like a big, like, wide bay windows though that lead right into the shop. So there's still people like walking up and down the street. So why don't you roll, what'd you get for your investigation roll?
13.
13. Are you trying to conceal your movements from the people walking up and down the street? Or are you trying to act like you belong here?
Yeah, I'm the shopkeeper.
Okay, make a charisma deception check. Or performance.
Wait.
Performance check for me.
Is my pass without trace still active?
Oh, I guess it is, yeah. So you can roll stealth instead, if you wanted to, and get a +10 bonus to that.
Holy shit. Yeah, I will take that as a stealth roll.
Okay, what'd you get?
That is a 26.
A 26. Okay, and a 13. No one even looks at you, right? As they're passing through the street, walking, and you sort of rifle through. You find like ledgers, you find quills, bottles of ink, written in you don't speak Talmudi, do you?
No.
Written in Talmudi, so you wouldn't understand it. But you recognize the script. Yeah, there just seem to be like ledgers, notes, quills. You don't see keys or anything like that, but you do see a hook that doesn't have anything hanging off of it. Presumably, the Myriad, when impersonating Amara, you're not sure where the real Amara is, or if Amara is the Myriad and has just been running the long con, you're not sure. Presumably, the Myriad has the keys.
Well, shit. Can I get out of the store?
You can try. You hop over the counter, or you like open up the little like swinging door thing, and you go toward the door, and yeah, it doesn't seem to be locked from the inside.
Okay, I'm going out.
You leave.
I'm out of here.
Cool. The door swings shut behind you, and you are out of there. Where do you go, Dewey?
Oh. Did the others tell me where they were going?
Y'all just said you were gonna meet up for dinner, the same place where you split, kind of in the middle of Soraksha, the district of shops.
I think think we probably told each other where we were going, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so y'all knew that Dewey was going to check out the shops, do some shopping. Y'all knew that V was going to scope out the orphanage. And y'all knew that Øka and Manaia were checking out the monster fighting pits at the gambling
But
parlor.
I don't know. Oh, okay.
The Queen's Gambit.
What time? Is it close to dinner time?
Got maybe an hour left.
Okay. I'm just gonna pull my head up and like duck through the crowds, like weaving,
Okay?
and head back to where we said we were gonna.
And you're just going to wait there? You're not going to do a little bit more investigating, check out the library maybe, a bookstore?
I've had enough for one day.
You've had enough adventure for one day.
Dewey
Great.
has.
Dewey is
Yeah.
done. Dewey, you weave through the crowds. You're not even looking. Like the smell of like, ooh, hydrate redemption.
Where's my bottle of water?
Wee bottle of water. The smell of like various street vendors with their grilled meats and vegetables and whatnot. The smell of like delicious falafels going doesn't really entice you. You're done. And you stop by where y'all said you were gonna meet. Where did y'all say you were gonna meet up again? Perhaps a fountain? Or maybe by a waterfall? Or by a statue? Where?
I assume either in the main fountain by where the Sriracha was, or at the miner's hut. I'm happy to let Dewey decide, though.
Yeah, Dewey, where's the meeting place?
Miner's hut?
Okay, great. So you go away from the shops. You leave these crowded, bustling shops behind. You sort of, you cross the stone bridges over the various rivers that sort of flow from big waterfalls in this underground, this cavernous city. Capital city, and you eventually make your way back to the miner's hut, where there are like plenty, like the guards. Actually, as you approach the like sort of low fence of where the mines are, you hear commotion. Something seems to be off. There aren't guards by where they usually are posted at all. In fact, everyone seems to be huddled by one of the entrances. There's a big crowd that's formed, and like some shouting, and like, ooh, ah, like how crowds do that in unison.
I'm gonna try and, I'm like craning my neck to, he's short, so that's gonna go over well. Just try to see what's going on without getting closer.
Okay, you can't really because you're short and it's far away. Don't forget, you can fly.
I know. I'm just trying to stay under the... Okay, I'm gonna float up a little bit just so I can see over people's heads.
Okay, you flap your wings a few times and you flutter into the air and you look down at the center of what all the commotion, all the hubbub is about. And you see what appears to be like the guards, right? There are several guards who are wrestling with miners, a couple of miners who look rabid. Their eyes are like just wide with fury. They're wielding pickaxes. Some of them are just like snapping with their jaws. They're swinging wildly. They seem to be in a frenzy. And like the guards are like shouting at them like, "Hey, put that down! What's gone into you?" And like are trying to calm them down. And the crowd is comprised of miners and alike who are all like whispering to each other. And they like collectively take steps back as like the frenzy seems to grow.
That's scary. I don't think Dewey does not have the capacity to deal with something more scary.
Okay.
Something else that's scary. So he's gonna take a pit stop. Maybe wash off in the waterfall because the Myriad maybe called him stinky. And just like clear his head.
Okay. You're gonna leave the mines. You're gonna see that, be like, nope, and leave and turn back the way you came.
Yeah.
Okay, Dewey, you see this, you're like, I'm not gonna get involved, and you turn around and you fly back toward where one of the waterfalls is. Yeah, the waterfalls are used for like communal bathing sometimes, you can just go in, you can get water, it's good for cleaning, drinking, good for, washing your laundry as well. Sort of, you see like a sign put up in various languages that says, don't worry if you see someone, washing their dirty laundry here, the water is magically enchanted, so you can both clean your dirty laundry and drink. From the fountain. So you go there and you begin to tell me how you clean yourself, Dewey.
This is, oh god. Just like splashing little bits of water. Like I'll step in and like start splashing little bits of water, but really submerging.
Okay, you splash water. Are you taking your clothes off or are you going like
Oh, this is... No, I'm not gonna take my claws.
Okay, you're just gonna take a depression bath, let's say. You splash the water onto your feathers, and you sort of, you're cleaning yourself off. There's like a couple of other people around who are either like grabbing water for like boiling stew later, or like cleaning their laundry. No one really spares you a second glance around this pool that the waterfall it's gushing down in. And then you step in, and you douse yourself in the water, hoping to clean yourself both physically but also spiritually, perhaps, and mentally. Where do you leave your sword?
Maybe slung over a rock.
Okay,
Like next to the water.
cool. You sling
Keeping
your
an eye on it.
Sounds good. You sling your sword over a rock, and you step into the water. And as you step into the water, Dewey, you step across the threshold in the basement of the orphanage, where the children of the Chrysalis, what you assume is a cult that worships this entity called the Chrysalis, are housed. You have just defeated, with Fireball no less, a bunch of skinless, bipedal, chicken-like monstrosities, and now this fleshy, kind of doughy priest is leading you past a sliding, stone door down a darkened tunnel. This priest whose likeness you imitated, but instead of being affronted, he seemed simply impressed. You follow him now, your minor illusion echoing your footsteps, one pair in front of where you actually are standing, holding aloft a torch illuminated with light. Otherwise, it's complete pitch darkness. It's kind of weird that this man was just walking around in darkness. You walk down the tunnel. As you walk, what do you do?
Can I see like the walls, or is this? I mean, we're still like in a hallway-ish type situation, right?
It's narrowed. The corridor you were in before was pretty wide to have be lined with cages. This one is maybe half the width.
Okay.
And it just seems like
right.
roughly hewn.
All right. I was gonna ask him, how long have you been with the Chrysalis?
Oh. I have been with the Chrysalis for as long as... maybe a little after the Chrysalis was formed.
So was this immediately before or after the catastrophe?
The catastrophe. The cataclysm. The vanishing. There are many names for what happened here. I don't see it as a catastrophe, V. I see it as a reckoning, an opportunity, a new world. What do you think?
In my line of work, I am always looking for new opportunities, so I agree completely with you. This is an opportunity for us to perhaps do some interesting things in a new world.
I believe you and the Imago will get along famously. And he pauses at the end of the tunnel. There's a couple of offshoots. There's one leading to the left, one leading to the right, and one leading straight ahead. And he goes, brace yourself. And he continues walking straight ahead. You follow?
Yeah, I follow.
You glance at the other two, remembering that they're there, and you follow this man, this priest, this Shakor, as he introduced himself. And at the end of the tunnel, extends for maybe another 20, maybe 30 feet, and ends in a door. Kind of like a plain wooden door, but a sigil is carved into the wood of it, the sigil of the Chrysalis, the symbol. And Shakor turns the knob, and you notice, the first thing you notice actually is the light coming in from the bottom of the door. Whatever's inside, there's a light source. And Shakor turns the knob and opens it, and just gestures for you to go in first. But as he turns around, he looks a little surprised that you're farther behind than he thought you were. Oh. Perhaps a trick of the tunnel. Go on in. The Imago is waiting.
As I pass, I will say to him, no tricks of tunnel, friend. It's all your friend V. And I walk in.
It's an office. Or what appears to be an office. Kind of like a spherical, so round, with a rounded ceiling, but fairly large for an office, not as big as Sievert's, but still pretty spacious, decorated in a way that is bare, but stylish. There's a rug on the ground, an owlbear rug, made from the skin of an owlbear, and a big, beautiful kind of black wooden desk, and like some shelves lined with books and scrolls, as well as like torches, that is the light source, lighting the walls. And sort of standing behind the desk, reading a scroll, is a man. In kind of, like, actually very, like, humble, like, kind of nondescript robes. A man with pale skin and kind of, like, blonde hair that is, like, gelled in a very particular, like, very, like, neat, like, parted in 3/4 part, combed backward, like, perfectly. But his back's to you, so you can't see the rest of his face. He stands at maybe only like 5'10", 5'11", but there's something in the way that he holds himself that makes you think he considers himself an important person. And as you step across the threshold, he goes, and he lowers the scroll and turns around. And you see a very handsome man with a very symmetrical face. Like a very perfect face, actually, with these bright blue eyes. He could be anywhere between 20 and 60 years old. You can't place him. You know, like one of those faces. He lowers the scroll and he says, you must be V. Come in. Have a seat.
Yes.
And he gestures toward the chair across his desk.
All right, I will go to it, and I believe you are to be Mr. Imago.
Oh, please, call me Adam. And he makes like a gesture, and you see Shockwar sort of close the door behind you. Shockwar doesn't enter. He just closes the door behind you, and you assume stands outside the door.
Yep. Before I sit down, can I just... Would it be possible to do like an arcane check on the chair at all? Like just
see if it's like enchanted or like it's gonna like spring to life and trap you. Yeah, make an arcana check on the chair. How are you making this check, V?
I'm going to walk up to it and just sort of like just admire it as if like, you know, as if this is a gold throne that's made out of like so expensive, and I'm just like, ooh dear. I'm going to use a point of inspiration, actually.
Okay, personal, right?
Yep,
well, you
personal.
have 3, so you're good.
And now I have a 22, so good roll.
Okay, Arcana check. It seems to be a regular chair. Doesn't seem to be enchanted in any way. As you're like marveling at it, he sort of smiles and waits for you to sit. And when you have sat down, he says, you don't have to worry about anything in here. I'm not here to trick you, V. I'm here to have a conversation.
I've been dying to have a conversation ever since I heard about your little outfit here.
Back in what, like episode 3? It's finally paying off. It's happening, guys. Stay calm. It's happening. Adam just sort of smiles, and he pulls out a piece of parchment and a quill. He says, do you mind if I take notes?
Go for it.
Wonderful. So, you spoke with Balraj, one of our children, a couple weeks ago, from what I hear. That's how you found out about us, isn't it?
Yeah, I was traveling on my way to take care of some business, and I heard the words of the Chrysalis being spoken by your friend Balraj, and I made a promise that as soon as I was able, I would come check you all out, have a fun, and come see what you're all about.
Why?
Oh, let's just say that, as I was saying to your friend Shakur out there, that I am an opportunist. When I see a good opportunity, I want to extend an open hand and perhaps see how my business and your business may benefit each other.
He scribbles something down and says, but surely a woman of your talents has plenty of opportunities elsewhere. You could sell your services, you could, there's plenty of money, gold, fame to be had outside of a cult, or so we are called, shunned by the people we seek to help. We're kind of a work in progress. Why us? Seems like a lot of work for very little reward.
Well, that's because I see that perhaps the things that I want could help benefit you and turn the Chrysalis from being perceived as cult to perhaps, the way that life should be from now on.
You're attracted to works in progress?
Let's just say that I see things that need a little help, and of course I'm a woman. You just described, I could get money, but perhaps in this endeavor and the things that I want, maybe for the first time, money's not the most important thing.
He writes that down and says, so what do you want?
Before I tell you what I want, do you know of our friend Sievert Rathbone in town here? Runs a guild.
Rathstone, but Rathbone is also a really cool last name, and I'm gonna yoink and steal that for later. His brother, Beavert Rathbone. Adam says, I'm aware of Mr. Rathstone, as is everyone who lives here. Why do you ask?
I believe, based on previous encounters with Mr. Rathstone, that he is perhaps the most dangerous opposition to your wonderful teachings gaining a higher stake in Andake.
What makes you say that?
Trust me, Sievert is not one who is satisfied ever in his current position of power, and if he sees you as threat, he will come for you and he will destroy you.
You seem to have a personal history with this Mr. Rathstone.
Oh, believe me, I will not shy away from the fact that he has stolen everything from me many years ago.
Ah, so is that what you want? For us to help you with your vendetta against this Rathstone?
If you help me take care of Mr. Sievert Rathstone, then I have an idea of a way that we could perhaps boost the Chrysalis from perceived cult to the heroes of Dabathati.
And I assume your idea, you'll only tell me if I agree.
Let's just say that me and my friends, my party that I'm with, we have plans to help the mining situation in this town, and we are very fierce warriors and talented unbelievably. We have already shown that these new creatures, after, you could call it the reckoning, you could call it the catastrophe, you could call it whatever you want to call it, there are now creatures doing wild things in the mines, and we are set to help the miners clear it out. But we may need... I've seen how gifted your healers are, and perhaps if we could borrow one or so in our journey, that we could give credit to the Chrysalis for if we could not have done it without the wonderful power of the Chrysalis. It would be a great PR movement. You would be, seen as one of the allies instead of one of the enemies.
Adam nods slowly and is stroking his chin, thinking your offer over. He's nodding to himself, and he basically, as you were talking, he was writing the entire time. And he says, that is quite a generous and intelligent offer, V. I must say I'm very impressed by all the thought you've put into this. I am inclined to accept your proposition, but please, for the sake of my own curiosity, if nothing else, why are you investigating the mines?
Well, we are a collection of travelers from all over, and some of us have had dealings in Dabathati, and we are, I will say, as a collective, invested in helping, for personal reasons. We believe that the people in the mines who are risking everything for the supposed greater good deserve to be protected more than anything else in this city. And, it's just the right thing to do. I believe in doing the right thing.
I see. And your party, the Aarakocra, the half-orc seems to be from Uhanahi, I believe, and the drow, double-pupiled. Those are your friends, correct?
My compliments to your research.
I try to be well-informed. I hope you'll forgive me if that appears, creepy in any way. I don't mean to be creepy at all. I just like to be informed.
Well, considering that I go into your basement to find a bunch of monsters eating the flesh of, other presumably innocent people, that's the least creepiest thing I've discovered this afternoon.
Well, I will say they are anything but innocent, if that does assuage your nerves. And that is something else that is interesting to me about you, V. A normal, quote-unquote normal, adventurer might see what we're doing down here and assume the absolute worst of us. You see what we're doing down here and you see an opportunity. And in that regard, I believe the two of us, you and I, V, we are not so different. Because of this kinship I feel toward you, Miss V, let's shake on this collaboration. And he extends a hand.
I come here and you want to touch hands, and I'm just a little nervous about touching hands. I don't know anything about you. I don't know where you came from.
I assure you my hands are clean. If you're referring to the contracts that we have the grass and the children sign, don't worry, this isn't binding in that way. It's just a handshake. Mostly, we don't have to do it. It's primarily just symbolic.
V is very performatively going to take off her glove with the diamond in it, pull it off, and extend it to Adam.
Okay. Adam sort of smiles. Even though he doesn't have gloves on, he pretends to pull a glove off to humor you. Extends his hand, and you shake. A good, firm handshake. Nothing out of the ordinary, if so it appears. He sort of sits back down in his chair and he says, "Wonderful. Well, in that case, I will send our best healer that we have, Shakwar, to assist you on your investigations of the riots happening in the mines, and in return, I will see what we can do about our Dragonborn problem."
V is putting back on her glove, and she's like, "Thank you very much. You've been most accommodating, and I look forward to our future conversations on the matter."
And you as well, V. Shakwar will see you out.
I'm going to stand up. I'm going to blow him a kiss, and then I'm going to walk towards the door.
You blow him a kiss, he winks at you back. And you go toward the door, you open it, Shakwar's waiting for you. Shakwar's closing the door for you, but before he closes the door, Adam says, "Oh, and one more thing, V. From one former con man to another. Good going." And Shakwar closes the door and begins to lead you out. And on that, we're going to take a break. We're going to take a quick 10-minute break. Stick with us. We'll be back for more Transplanar.
If I go fast instead of slowly, instead of last, if my father survives me, if I explode, if I go up in smoke, if I go quietly, when I go quiet, each other. And I suppose the soul can go to the children. I suppose the trash can go to the museum. I suppose the dreams can go in the casket. I suppose the blood will go where you ask it. Will go where you ask it. Will spill where you ask it. Will spill where you ask. I'll spill where you ask. I'll spill where you ask. I'll spill. I'll spill. I'll spill. I'll spill. I was once the tree, and I was the paper. I was the hair, and I was the razor. I was the leg, I was the table. I was the cloth, and I was the indigo. And I was the indigo, and I was the indigo. And I was the indigo, and I was a color girl. And I was a color girl, and I was a color girl. And I was a color girl, and I was a color girl. It's the blue light when we're out with our friends. It's the blue light.
Beneath the sands of time, a castle and its undead court stirs. Deep in the darkest woods, a wild hunt rages on. And at the edge of a fallen city, a never-ceasing hunger gnaws at the ribs of unlucky souls. In the heart of Vyre, the unholy empire, Queen Saphira of the thrice-cursed House of Fane adjusts her grandmother's crown, fully aware that she is not the only devil scheming in her throne room. And somewhere, ignorant to it all, are 4 bad heroes, with no idea just how unprepared they are. Bad Heroes is a Pathfinder actual play podcast set in a homebrew world with a love of storytelling, roleplay, and the more charming forces of hell. Find us on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts. If I go fast instead of slowly, instead of last, if my father survives me, if I explode, if I go up in smoke, if I go quietly, when I go quiet, give my heart to my mother, she'll know what to do, give my songs to my lover, she'll know what to do, give my bones to my father,
each And I suppose the soul can go to the children. I suppose the trash can go to the museum. I suppose the dreams can go in the casket. I suppose the blood will go where you ask it. Will go where you ask it. Will spill where you ask it. Will spill where you ask. I'll spill where you ask. I'll spill where you ask. I'll spill. I'll spill. I'll spill. I'll spill. I was once the tree, and I was the paper. I was the hair, and I was the razor. I was the leg, I was the table. I was the cloth, and I was the indigo. And I was the indigo, and I was the indigo. And I was the indigo, and I was the color girl. And I was a color girl, and I was a color girl. And I was a color girl, and I was a color girl. Doom did. It's the blue light when we're out with our friends. It's the blue light asking where the night should end. It's the blue light saying, come over. It's the blue light in my coat on my shoulders. Lying in your room, playing with your hair. Lying to myself, saying that there's nothing there. There's nothing that we share. No reason to care, no way of knowing where this is going. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing?
And we're back. Hello. Hi, everybody. This just in. Erica just rolled her d20 and got a natural 20, meaning she wasted it. You wasted that, Erica.
I'm so sad.
You should
I'll
be.
Never roll.
I hope
I
it.
was just warming up the dice.
I hope it bites you in the ass, Erica. I really do. That'll teach you.
Next roll in that one. Here it comes.
Yeah, exactly. So let's get right back into the swing of things with our campaign, Øka, Manaia. The two of you have been brought into an office. The two of you were brought through. Basically, y'all went back the way you came. And then the bodyguards, as well as Lady Saram, led you up, toward kind of like a hidden door that sort of was lining the amphitheater. One of the bodyguards opened it and led you in. A dark tunnel, several different offshoots, quite a few, until you finally ended up inside of an office. A large kind of cavernous underground office, not dissimilar to what V is currently encountering, but much larger than Adam's office, a lot more lavish, actually. In fact, everything here is decked out in frills and lace, okay? And again, beautiful art kind of lines the walls, like beautiful art of the gods, of extinct dragons with their serpentine bodies twisting around each other in mortal conflict, of legendary scenes from myths and history, in this woman's office. And a lot of stuffed animals as well, and big sort of like plush, like beanbag chairs. Like you see a big like owl bear stuffed animal, like a big like teddy, as well as just like a regular bear, and like a big pig, and like a just like a but every animal you can name is here. It's just kind of like cutesy. Everything is everywhere, and
everyone is here.
Everyone's here. The entire woodland, all of the woodland community is here, showing up in stuffed form. She gestures for the two of you to sit in beanbag chairs.
Øka is going to look at themselves, because not only are they covered in black blood, like on the front of them, from where they, were fighting the face stealer, but their back is still bleeding profusely, from where its claws rended them, and they really don't want to sit down in the beanbag chair. But I think before that, before they even get in, as they're walking, Øka is going to just kind of, again, like, put their hand on Manaia's elbow and just, like, give her a little nod,
Okay. Manaia?
Manaia's not going to sit down if Øka doesn't sit down, but she is going to grab Øka's hand and squeeze.
Okay. Aww, y'all hold hands and squeeze. Rev, the large drow woman, sort of ignores what the two of you are doing and awkwardly sits. She's like huge, like in one of the beanbag chairs, and looks extremely uncomfortable. But Lady Saram just sort of smiles, and she sits down across from you in the biggest beanbag chair. If a beanbag chair could be luxurious, this is it. All frills, all lace, all beautiful embroidery. Sort of almost looks like a painted egg in how it's decorated. She sits down, and she gestures at one of her big, like, burly bodyguards, who hands her a sheaf of parchment. And she consults it. She goes, rolls it back up, holds it in her hand, and she says, "So, we now have some privacy. As you probably know, my name is Lady Saram. I am part of the guild." And the way she says it, the guild has a capital G. She says, "It's very rare that I extend this sponsorship opportunity in the first place, much less to 3 individuals. So consider yourselves very lucky." And Rev actually butts in and says, "So, what do we get? We put our lives on the line fighting these monsters. We bleed for you. We get butts in seats. What do you give us? Money?" And you can tell based on how Rev says money, that's not going to be enough, or not what drives her, at least. And Lady Saram says, "Money? Sure. But the thing about the guild, honey, is that we have perhaps the greatest wealth and resource of all." "And what's that?" "Why, it's what it's been since the dawn of time. Information. Anything you might want to know, anything that happens. No one kills a fly without us knowing about it. So, as a show of goodwill and good faith, if there are any burning questions on your mind, anything you've come to this 3-faced city to seek, ask. I'll see what I can do. And in return, I must ask that the 3 of you fight in at least one more." Devon's gone again, I think. Wait, nope. Devon's here.
Erica.
That was Erica. What is going on with our connection today? But it's okay. Erica's not in the scene. We'll just keep going. Erica's not in the scene. Let's keep going. Let's keep playing. I swear to God, I hate playing in a city because, like, people are gonna be like, "Look at my huge motorcycle. I could make a lot of noise with my exhaust pipe." And I'm like, "You get it. I get it. You have an inferiority complex. Shut up. I don't want to listen to it." Anyway, Lady Saram goes, I must simply ask the 3 of you to play in at least one more match."
At this, Manaia tenses up and squeezes Øka's hand.
Øka nods. I fear I may have dragged my friend in here unwillingly.
Well, for being so unwilling, Manaia, was it? You performed extremely well. I must color myself impressed. You shouldn't feel bad about what you did, Manaia. You were stellar.
Thank you, Lady Saram. And she does an Uhan salute and bows.
Uhanahi, is it? It's been a while since I've met anyone from the kingdom. That isn't too long, of course.
Anyway, I think that this may be not a 2-for-1 scenario.
I see. Manaia, if it does make you feel better, those men knew the risks going in. If I can only get one of you, I'll be happy with that. And, just as a show of my goodwill again, I'll still allow you, Øka, to ask me what it is exactly you're looking for, and I'll see what I can provide. What about you, Rev? Rev is just sort of looking at her, like studying Lady Saram, and after a brief pause, she says, "A dog-headed man. Heard of it?" And Lady Saram sort of smiles and steeples her fingers, leans back in her beanbag chair and says, "I may have, I may not have. Is he whom you seek?" And y'all see Rev sort of tighten her fist around the whip at her side. And she just sort of nods. And Lady Saram says, "I may or may not have information on a man with the head of a dog. I assume you're all down for another exhibition match then, Rev?" And Rev nods. "How about you, Øka? What do you seek?"
Let me into that back room of yours. With
Back
all the
room?
monsters.
Is that all you want? A tour of the monster cages?
No. Everything. Everything you have on them, where you're getting them.
Oh.
How you're keeping them in cages, what they do. And, I can go for as many matches as you like. So if this counts as more, count me in.
It's very interesting. What is it? And she's sort of like addressing the whole room, including her like stoic bodyguards. What is it about people asking after our monsters recently? Well, very well. You can tour the cages. I can answer the rest of your questions now if you'd like. I see no reason not to. It's not exactly guarded information. You can shoot a little higher there, darling, if you want. But if you really must know, we send out our employees, let's say our associates with the guild, to farm these monsters from the Kagunia Canyon. That's where they seem to come from. They like to hide in there. I have a feeling they prefer the darkness, more than we do. That's where we found the face stealer, actually, climbing along the walls of Kagunia. There's been quite a few monstrous activities down there, but we're not necessarily interested in getting to the bottom of it so much as just getting the monsters into our pits and giving our audience a good show.
And what about the rage in the mines?
The mines? What do you mean, what about the rage? What information do we have on it?
Yes.
Well, we've been keeping an eye on the rage, let's say. It's not exactly our top concern. The miners don't really... Cat on stream alert! Miners don't really have much to offer the guild, and we tend to leave them well enough alone. That being said, what I do know about the rage is this. Seems to have started a couple weeks ago. Seems to be spreading every time it happens. Seems to take the strongest first. Seems to be contagious. I tell my associates not to go close to the mines. Anything specific I can help you with?
You would be very... no offense, but you'd be foolish to underestimate the miners. That's where I'm from. and yet here I am, your champion, perhaps? That's basic information. I learned that from talking to Mama Fish.
Mama
Say you have
Fish.
more information than anyone else.
I do.
I'm not impressed.
Lady Saram raises an eyebrow, and you see like a kind of like her temple twitch a little at that. And
She's not gonna do it. That's what they're doing it.
she smiles with her black teeth and says, like I said, I have a wealth of goodwill, but it is not unlimited. And you notice like some of the bodyguards, like they look at each other and their hands start to go to their waists where they have like weapons strapped, but they're not like unsheathing them quite yet. And she just looks at them and raises a hand, and they pause. And she says, I will let that insult slide, because again, your performance in the pits has impressed me. But be careful not to wear out your welcome here, dearest Øka. Is there anything specific about the rage that you would like to know?
Where are they going, and why? Where is the rage taking them?
My sources tell me the miners simply go deeper. They seem to be attracted to that. I hear there's a magical tunnel that's opened up at the end. They seem to be going through there, filtering in one after another like a line of ants. Something within the Godspine calls to them.
Manaia opens her mouth to speak, waiting for an opportunity.
You have an opportunity. Go for it.
Okay. If I may. Lady Saram, I don't want to do this. But we have reason to believe that there are some sort of presumably powerful constructs deep in the mines.
Constructs?
We have them in Uhanahi, the like golem servants, mindless.
Oh, yes, those automatons. I've heard of them. I've wished to procure one for myself as a toy. How harmful could they be? Constructs, really? Interesting. This I will admit, this is news to me. Your sources must be very well endowed.
Feathered, really?
Well,
Feathered.
If we could procure your help in getting those miners back, I would be more than willing to attempt to bring some of them back to you. I think those might be a little bit more exciting to fight, as they can be rebuilt in your pits then. These monsters.
Lady Saram sort of strokes her chin. Actually, no, what's her tick? She continues to steeple her fingers and sort of like ripple them against each other. And she says, that is a fascinating proposition, Manaia. These constructs would have to put up a good enough fight, though. I don't want something that can just shatter. I've heard these automatons are mostly used as house servants and toys.
They seem to be guarding something.
Guarding something.
I doubt they would not have combat skills.
Well,
But should they be sufficient for your pits, I would ask that you either refrain from fighting the shadow monsters, or at least change how you deal with them. Respectfully, of course, lady.
I do like your tone of voice, Manaia. Your companion could learn from you. Unfortunately, these shadow creatures, as you call them, they do bring in the big bucks. As we say here, people come here to watch them rip other people to shreds, or vice versa. But if these constructs prove interesting enough, perhaps I could be persuaded to look for more constructs instead of more shadow monsters. They do end up rending quite a few of our associates as we try to wrangle them here in the first place. There's a net profit here that I'm always keeping track of. Very well. How about this? Why don't the two of you go see what's going on in the mines? I'll let you hold off on your exhibition match for now. Try to bring one of these constructs back to me in exchange for this information I've given you. Does that feel fair?
Manaia looses her hand that's holding Øka's.
At least let me show you how to deal with the shadow monsters once they're dead. You can't
Yes.
just go throwing them out.
Oh, and why not?
Because there are people stuck in them.
People? Stuck inside of a monster? Whatever do you mean?
I feel like by watching them you may have, probably should have noticed this by now, but you don't feel the weaves snap when they die? They're not going anywhere. They're stuck. People's souls, when they're killed, are stuck in the monsters. You have to take them out.
Where do the souls go? This is Rev.
We've lost connection to the after.
What? So they're gone?
Øka is rifling through their pack and is going to pull out one of the soul sacks.
Mr. Rom looks like, ugh. Like it's like disgusting in her like little Pastel Wonderland office.
But standing there bleeding onto the floor, it's fine.
But Rev looks at your soul sack and actually tenses on the beanbags and says, "Where did you get that?"
Inside the monster. How many times do I have to say it?
Rev gestures for it.
Don't open it.
I won't.
Hand it over.
This is a soul. So the soul... I knew it. I was right. The Raven Queen, she's not here anymore. We can't get to her. When we die, and that's it. I knew it. They wouldn't listen to me, but I knew it. And Rev hands the bag back to you, Øka.
Øka takes a sidelong look at her and is like, it's like the video game, Øka remembers that.
Yeah.
Øka will remember that.
Yeah. Rev looks extremely jittery, and Lady Saram says, okay, I believe the three of you. How fascinating. It appears that your informational sources and mine should talk. Actually, I might have even more reward to offer you in exchange. But if this is so, if these monsters take the souls of those they kill, and if we kill them and the souls are released, obviously that's not good. I mean, we are a guild, but we're not monsters. It serves none of us to have the souls of our dearly departed evaporate like morning dew. I'll tell my associates to be more careful when they dispose of the monsters, and you say each of them has a sack inside their body? A gross, saggy sack?
Yes, I would like to take them.
Oh, technically, honey, these monsters are our property. But rest assured, we won't dispose of these soul sacks. I'll tell my associates to tie them up so the souls don't escape, and we'll store them. You have my word.
All right.
Surely it must be easier for an organization to keep track of these souls than a single individual.
Perhaps.
Very well then. It's decided. And she claps very excitedly. And she says, bring me back a construct. I look forward to it. You'll know where to find me. Go to the Queen's Gambit and ask for Threya.
That was Manaia's next question.
Okay. Are we all wrapped up here?
If she's dismissing us, Øka is going to go to Rev, but if we want to switch scenes, that's fine too.
Okay, she's dismissing you. You'll have some opportunity to talk to Rev before you leave, but for now, I want to get back to Dewey. Or actually, let's wrap up your scene because it's two of you, and then we can get back to the dinner. All of y'all meeting together at the miner's hut is where y'all said you were gonna meet. Remember, Dewey? Yeah, let's wrap up. The three of you get up and you are ushered out of Miss Lady Saram's office. The bodyguards are escorting you out. They're sort of like following you. They're flanking you out. The amphitheater, when you leave, is pretty much empty now. There's like the same like big like chariot being dragged around the arena to clean it with like its like metal claw, and like 4 bodyguards escort the 3 of you out. And as you're walking, you have an opportunity to talk to Rev if you would like.
As they're walking out, Øka's just gonna like just shake their hands out a little bit, and then like just be like, all right, like, and smack themselves in the back and cast healing hands.
Okay, you smack yourself in the back and you cast healing hands. As a surge of divine energy ripples through you, you're able to suture up a little bit of your wounds. What do you ask Rev, or what do you say to her?
Øka like nods once at Manaia in case she's still feeling like a little like here. Mm-hmm. And then they're gonna call after Rev.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Rev turns, looks over her shoulder and says, "Yes?"
Where are you going right now?
I need to rest. That was a hard fight.
You look fine to me.
You'd be surprised.
I think we could use your help in the mines.
What are you after in the mines? Why do the riots matter to you?
Why don't the riots matter to you? It's all connected. You're searching for what happened to the Raven Queen? Well, this is step 1.
Rev squints at you, confused. She clearly doesn't see the connection.
All of this is happening because the gods disappeared. The 8 are gone, right?
Yes.
So instead of just wandering around the entire world, we have to go to the hotspots where things are happening. This is connected. The riots are connected.
She thinks about it for a while. Is it dangerous?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I can't help. I'm saving my power for someone.
Dog-headed man?
Yes.
I'll keep my eyes open. And Øka starts to walk away.
I'd be grateful if you did. Manaia, do you have anything you want to say to Rev before we end the scene?
Not to Rev.
Okay. How about to Øka?
But to Øka.
Go for it.
Mm-hmm. Similarly to 2 episodes ago, content warning here, Manai's about to have a panic attack. Manaia turns to Øka and says, have you ever felt like you're falling?
Øka kind of looks up. You go, yes?
Like you're walking down the stairs, and the last stair isn't there. And that moment that you might fall.
Yes?
This hasn't happened before. I didn't know it was like this. Those men are dead. I could have saved them.
You'd be hard-pressed to save everyone in the world, Manaia.
But I could have saved them. They were right there. How do you deal with that? How do you go on?
Øka's gonna stop walking and kind of like reach all the way up to grab onto Manaia's shoulders and like turn her to look at them. And then they're gonna fold their arms like over their chest and go, Have you ever watched, I had a favorite tree growing up. And I would sit in it, and I would climb it, and I just, I would go there whenever I was feeling sad. Right? I loved it. I loved the tree. And the day that I watched it get cut down felt like the worst day in the world. But trees get cut down. They fall. And I cried so hard that my mother gave me a seed. And she told me to go plant it. And that someday something better would grow for someone else. You can't always save the tree. But but Manaia, you plant so much good everywhere you go. It's hard. I'm sorry. It feels funny, but I didn't want you to see that either.
They're really gone, aren't they? My parents?
Maybe. I don't know. But who knows what seeds who knows what kind of seeds they sowed for you? What kind of beauty you'll find from them and from yourself.
Manaia rubs her eyes. It says, "Thank you, Øka."
Øka kind of like claps her on the arm and is like, "Don't get used to it," but doesn't take their arm away, and like starts to like lead her on.
Wonderful. That was beautiful.
One last
Yeah,
thing.
go for it.
By the way, Øka, I appreciate the sentiment, but I wouldn't believe for 100 years that you'd ever cry. Liar.
All right, fine. Most of that story was made up. Who cares? You feel better. That's the point.
Cool. I'm going to give you both a point of inspiration for that. That was awesome. Really, really cool scene. And on the heels of that, Øka and Manaia and V. The three of you, from your own little corners of Dabathati, emerge from your own little hidey holes, and you converge, begin to move toward the mines, right? But before you can get there, the three of you pass by a waterfall where a very familiar birdman is splashing. Dewey, V, Øka, and Manaia, the four of you meet at the same time simultaneously. You see each other at the same time upon this waterfall. Dewey, what are you doing? Are you still in the water?
I think I was talking to my sword.
Great.
A little bit.
Okay, you're at the edge of the pool. Have you pulled the sword out?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the sentence that we interrupt the conversation with? What are you saying to your sword?
We're gonna have to work on that. That can't happen again.
What do you mean? Did I do something wrong during it, Father?
No, you're fine. We're
Hey,
gonna have
Dewey! Is that
Yeah,
you?
and I shoot the sword.
And you quickly, he goes, oh, and you don't hear him anymore. And you see Øka and Manaia coming out from the crowd, accompanied soon by V from a different direction.
I hastily get out of the water, dry off, and you're like,
I thought you were going shopping. Wait, is that a bite mark on your arm?
What?
I thought you were going shopping. What is...
Yeah, it went fine. What? What? Just didn't notice that he's got, like, bruises and...
There are
Bite
tons
on
of
him.
cuts all over your leg. Like,
I got a lot of paper cuts from the book. How did your thing go?
well... Øka looks at Manaia, and then, down at their hands, which are still kind of, fucked up and dirty. I think maybe we all, could use a little bit of a bath. Maybe.
Yeah, you guys look rough.
We won. Didn't find Ravi, but we learned some interesting information. Learned some interesting information.
We should talk later. Maybe public showering area, but
Is V here yet?
Yeah, V, you come up on the conversation, yep.
is that V?
Yes, I would rather if we discuss anything, we do it in private chambers.
Where the fuck did you come from?
I've been behind you for like 20 blocks. It's okay.
Damn it. You could just say hello. You could just say hi.
Old habits die hard, friend. It's a sign that I love you if I sneak up on you.
Øka rolls their eyes a little bit. Splashes their hands in the water real quick, just kind of like washes up a little bit. Cracks their back.
And V's gonna roll up. So while walking through town, V would have rolled down her sleeves she's got some scratch marks from Chicken Boys clawing on her arm. So she rolls them back up and like just washes them and stuff. All that business.
Well, what the hell happened to you now?
The Chrysalis are very wonderful people, and I can't wait to tell you all about them.
Uh-huh. Well, do we want to stay here, or shall we go?
Manaia is in the bath, washing out the black blood mixed with her own, staring at it as it drifts away. And it supposedly disappears.
In the purified water, I suppose.
Yeah, the water washes away the blackness in the wounds, and it just seems to... the foam and the rush takes it. So what's the plan here, y'all?
Shall we go back to the mining huts?
I'm sure Mama Fish has cooked up something good. Ugh, this fucking...
Yes, that the farther away we are from Queen's Gambit, the better I feel.
Okay. Quick question to y'all as players. Do we want to go until 5 or 5:30? How are we doing?
I'm fine going a little bit past it to like have a little scene about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Feeling like we could go until like the end of the night and start the next day, maybe? Next session?
We'll see. So the 4 of you turn and you make your way back toward the mines. Dewey, you're gonna tell them what you saw?
The miners?
Yeah. Are you gonna tell
I'm
your
still-
party what you saw at the mines and why you turned around?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so, the Rage, before we get to the mines, I think you should know that maybe there are some, affected miners over there being wrestled by guards. I didn't want to get too...
Dewey, you should have led with that. 8. Oka's gonna take off running in that case.
Oh, no.
By Mahu,
Did you just
How-
get out of a fight?
how far are they away from the actual mines themselves? Has the radius grown larger? Has the area grown larger?
Is it?
Yeah, it was like spilling out of the mines from what you could see.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna be... It's gonna be hard to get in. It's pretty big. There's a big crowd. I don't know how many miners there are, but it's a pretty big...
Okay. Are all 4 of you rushing toward the mines now? I know Øka took off. Okay, Manaia, you're running V?
Yeah, I'll do a little and start jogging along behind them.
Okay, and Dewey?
I'm going after Øka, if only to make sure that they don't dive headfirst.
Awesome. So Øka and Manaia leading the charge, with V falling behind, and Dewey bringing up the rear. The 4 of you run through the crowded shop districts of Suraksha toward the back of this mountain stronghold of Dabathati in the mighty Republic of Talmud. I am saying this because we did get raided by a bunch of new viewers, so I'm also like reiterating what's going on. The 4 of you run, just complete, your legs pumping, or in Dewey's situation, your feathered wings pumping as you're just rushing through crowds, and you finally break free of all the cloistered shops, the stalagmites and the stalactites hanging overhead, the jutting waterfalls and their various slick streams, to find a scene of complete chaos. What you see before you seems to be just a riot has broken out in front of the mines. You see a hut is on fire, but that is the least of your concerns. There's just people just wailing on each other, miners attacking each other, guards attacking guards and other miners. Everyone is just going buck wild, and more people are streaming out of the mines and into the mines. It's complete chaos, and you actually notice this seems to be a pretty recent development. There are a few people standing on the outside of the low fencing, the sort of fences in the mining area, like whispering at each other, like what's going on? What's happening? Oh, it's getting worse. And you see a couple of adventurers near you, like muttering to each other and like going for their weapons and like carefully unsheathing them and stepping forward. And you also notice, like on the edge of the fencing, a platoon, like a small troop of the Night Watch folks, being like, hey, what's happening here? And one of them seems to be a captain of sorts. Let's see, I have her information here. It's gonna be really fun. She is, let's see. You know that DM feel when you have like a million different notes spread across like a million different areas, and you're like, where the hell are the notes I need when I need them, but you don't.
Can't relate, actually.
Well, you can shut your butt, is what I'll say to you. Republic of Talmud, Senate, there we go. You see a human woman, that was easy. Actually, no, I'm wrong. A Leonin woman. So a woman who looks like a lion. With actually like a mane, a fierce mane, and like a grizzled scar across her snout. She's like barking orders and telling adventurers, says, adventurers, come, join us, let's put down this ruckus. If you're part of a guild, if you have formal training, if you have any sort of martial talent, I need you.
I have a question.
Yes. Question from Max first.
Yeah, go ahead.
So when I came earlier and there were some guards like trying to wrestle these enraged miners, are those guards now also enraged?
Yeah, it's spread.
Oh boy.
After you left, yep. Because you just sort of looked and you turned around and you didn't do anything. So in your absence, it has spread.
Manaia's going to turn to the 3 of you and say, Øka, V, Dewey, get some water, get that fire out. That's going to spread if we don't control it. And then, like, beeline it for the captain.
Manaia,
Okay.
don't go into the crowd. You're too powerful. Don't go into the crowd. I don't want
Wait,
you to...
is the captain in the crowd?
They're sort of on the outside of the fencing, rallying troops to sort of put down this ruckus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going for her, trying to skirt around the crowd, though.
Okay. V, Øka?
Øka can't fly anymore. Nor do they have... Well, I guess there's lots of water.
Yeah, there's plenty of water all around. From, like, the various rivers and waterfalls inside this mountain stronghold.
Okay, Oka's gonna run for the closest water that
Okay.
you see. I assume that there are lots of, like, buckets around so you can, like, wash yourself.
Sure.
For them.
Yep.
But it's, like, eyes on the crowd. If they see Mama Fish or the little kid...
Ibia.
Or, like, any of them, they're gonna go in.
Okay. V?
Could I use Ray of Frost to try to put out some of the fire? Because it's a cantrip, so
You'll have to get into the middle of it. I will say I'll let you use Ray of Frost, but you'll have to put yourself in danger to do it.
Yeah, I figure both me and Øka will be trying to put it out. I mean, I don't expect it to be like this. I expect it to be as effective as running with a bunch of buckets of water. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'll do that. I'll start using Ray of Frost to try to put as much of it as I can.
Okay, V, you immediately hop over the fence and you run into the fray, followed by Øka. You've scooped a couple buckets full of water and you begin to run after V as well. I need both of y'all to make me a dexterity check to see if you can dodge like the chaos of swinging fists and pummeling claws and rending swords flying all around you. Manaia, you pull up to this Leonin captain, it appears, of the Night Watch. She is wearing this tough, kind of studded leather armor and these like big pauldrons, as well as the insignia of Dabathati on her breast. While this is happening, Dewey, what do you do?
I'm gonna look for a way to route water from the... Is the waterfall, like, kind of close?
What was that?
Is the waterfall nearby?
There's a waterfall perhaps like 30, 40 feet away from the fencing.
I'm gonna try and find a way to route that water towards...
Okay, you can try. I'm not sure what your plan is, but you run over to the waterfall. The party splits, you run over to the waterfall, and you begin to look around for a way to route the water. So you come up with a plan. Øka and V, what did the two of you get?
Hold on, I would need to confirm something first, depending on what...
I got an unnatural 20.
Great, then let's go back to Manaia while C's confirming that. Manaia, you run up to...
What I mean, Connie, is that I had a question.
Oh, okay, what's up?
Is there any way to get to the burning building without going into the crowd?
Not really.
Okay. Then I don't think Øka would run in.
Okay.
And would probably try to stop V from running in also.
Okay, V, you begin to hurtle over the fence with your 20, right? And you're beginning to, like, dodge the first few people when Øka, you call out.
Wait, don't! It's spreading. Can you cast from far away?
Yeah, what's your range on Ray of Frost?
60 feet?
You'd have to get inside the fencing to reach, because the hut in question is kind of far from the outside.
Okay.
Okay, while you are thinking about that, Manaia, you go up to the captain, presumably, and she goes, "Good, is this everyone? We're about to go in, okay?"
Manaia puts her hand on her shoulder and like turns around to face her.
You're gonna turn this woman around forcibly to face you?
Yes, this is important.
Okay, make a strength contest.
Okay, I'm not like forcing her. I'm just like, and then like pull.
She's not gonna. She's gonna. Okay, you play. Then don't make a strength contest if you're not actually trying to rest her. You just place a hand on her, and she just sort of looks at you.
And Manaia salutes in the Johan style and says,
"Okay,
Captain, apologies for the rudeness. We cannot kill them."
The rioters?
They aren't rioting. This is out of their control. There's something in their minds causing them to do this.
Look, I have no plans to kill our own citizens, okay? My orders are to be non-lethal. Knock them out, sedate them whatever you can, round them up, and we'll bring them in front of the Senate for accountability later. For now, we need to restore peace and order.
Then you've got me on your side.
Great. All right, I need us to split into 3 groups. I need one group to take care of the fire. I need another group to round up everyone who's rioting. And I need a third group to go after, go into the mines and see what the hell is happening in there.
Is that loud enough to be heard?
Yeah, she's roaring it, let's say, as a Leonin.
Øka, lets go of V completely and, pivots, and it's it spreads.
Yes, the fire is spreading, I know.
No, not the fire, the rage. You cannot go in there.
Okay, because this is an extremely chaotic, confusing situation, there are, multiple people calling at her, there's, I'm gonna have you make a charisma check to see if you can get her attention. I try not to call for charisma checks, I just like to see how roleplay works it out, but this is a chaotic situation. So make a straight up charisma check.
Alright, I have a -2, everyone. I have a -2.
You do have 1 personal inspiration and 8 collective inspiration.
I'll use 1 collective inspiration.
Okay.
Just to see. It wasn't horrible.
Go for it.
That was worse. So that's a 11.
11. Okay, that is not necessarily going to be very successful, Øka. I can let you know. You can try to use another collective inspiration if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, go for it.
Shouts it a 2nd time, a 3rd time. I'll use my own inspiration, actually.
Okay.
That's fine. Ah, motherfucker, that was a 2.
Do you want to try again?
Nope.
Okay, we'll keep the 11 then.
Take the F.
You take the F. Øka, you're shouting, but your words are sort of drowned out. However, with your 11, you do get a few, regular schmoes around you, being like, what? Huh? They seem to have heard you, and they're turning to you, looking for more information, get maybe 3 or 4 other people. But the captain does not hear you, and she continues barking orders and is about to send people out.
Do I hear Øka?
Yes, you do.
Manaia looks at Øka
Øka's frantic.
and nods and turns to the captain and says, "No, we cannot go in there.
What the hells are you talking about, soldier?
The mines are causing them to riot, are causing them to kill. You cannot send people in there. They will get consumed too."
They will get consumed by what? The frenzy?
The frenzy, the rage,
Listen, soldier, we have no other choice. Would you have them tear each other apart? Someone has to go in there. We have to take the risk. That's the oath I swore.
I would have them contained at the gates. Don't let them into the city.
She pauses and looks around and says, very well. Platoon A, the platoon that was about to go in, start grabbing wood. Let's build this fence higher. And she begins to bark orders for scaffolding and fencing, some sort of a makeshift pen to be constructed so the miners can't spill out. And the soldiers scatter. The platoons that are about to be sent in to gather people as well as go into the mines don't, and instead they just gather wood. But the woman says, someone still has to put out that fire. None of this is not flammable. We have to go in and take care of that fire.
I think Øka's hopefully made it up to them by now, ideally.
Okay.
And it's gonna come out right up next to Manaia. Send in your fastest people, fast, quick. Not the strongest, the fastest people to tear people off each other if they look like they're gonna kill each other. Send spell slingers from as far away as possible.
Any flyers to carry buckets? Any magic users?
Very well. And the woman turns and she begins to bark these orders. As you see, Aarakocra, and you see a couple sorcerers casting spells on themselves so they can fly or sprout ghostly wings. They're grabbing buckets. People begin to fly over, and you see a cheetah tabaxi run in and begin to do what you were suggesting to do, and people begin to rally. They begin to listen to your orders, your suggestions, as this captain woman barks out your ideas, and it seems to be going pretty well, actually. Your ideas are very smart. The plan is very smart. What are the 4 of you doing to help? Are you building the gate? Dewey, you're by the waterfall when all of this is happening, and you're realizing, okay, maybe things are being taken care of. Are you joining the flyers, Dewey, to put out the fire from above?
Are they just bringing water buckets?
Yeah, they're bringing buckets of water. You can see a couple of people are casting conjure water from thin air, and they're blasting it from above. But as you know, with like firefighting, it's really hard to fight a fire. You need a lot of water.
I wanted to see if there was like a pipe on the ground or like maybe a long plank of wood and like stick it into the water.
Mm-hmm.
So that the gravity from the waterfall brings it through the pipe or down the plank.
And just sort of gushes into the mine area?
Yeah.
Okay.
Over to the fire and where the people are fighting.
Yeah, that would at least make the ground not flammable.
Yeah, it would make the ground very wet, and it would slow the spread of the fire, but it will also make the ground slippery and make things a little bit more chaotic.
People are
I
less likely to
also-
kill each other.
That's
Yeah.
true, those slip and fall.
Douse them with water.
Okay, why don't you look around and make me a MacGyver roll to see how well you can MacGyver this thing. I'm gonna say
Survival?
that's survival. Yeah.
Wow.
Do I
I have an
Actually, no.
idea.
Yes,
I would like
V.
to hear V's idea.
Seeing that Dewey is doing that, what if, as like the water's running off, I cast Ray of Frost to slowly turn it into like an ice luge to like
Slushy.
direct the water even further in?
Oh, like you're like ice bending it? Like a
Kind
cool
of,
like water bending
yeah.
like ice moment. Yeah, why don't you describe to me what happens after Dewey tells me what you got for your survival roll?
15.
Okay, you do a fine job. You neither get an additional boon nor do you get a penalty. You do what you set out to do. You grab like some scrap metal, some buckets, like some pipes lying around, and you build it. You're an inventor. You hammer it in, and the water begins to flow in a torrent toward the fencing. And Vay, you see this, and tell me what Ray of Frost looks like.
Yes, I'm gonna see that this sort of pipeline is being built, and I'm gonna run up to it and cast up. Like I'm probably below it at this point. I'm assuming at the angle. So I'm above it, casting Ray of Frost, and it kind of helps just reinforce everything. Builds like a little side, so it's not like dripping off the sides, and just like it's reinforcing as well as just like helping spread the water. And I'm going as close to the edge as possible to help. Just make it again this like little tunnel that the water can flow into this area more.
Cool.
And it's going to be real cold, so if there's people in rage, this really cold water passing through it is going to be a little colder.
It's gonna make them cold a bit. Okay, so where the piping ends, V's water ice tunnel begins, and you bring it over to where the direction of where the house that's on fire is, and whoosh, this like icy cold water joins everyone else's efforts and whoosh, just pummels into the house that's on fire, and you see like smoke begin to rise as fire and ice and water collide. As the fire is put out, it finally sputters and goes out and does not spread any further. And in fact, like icy water rains down on the rioters, causing them to gasp and snarl and slip because it's slippery on the ground and people are slipping and slipping off of each other. You see the cheetah like Tabaxi skid and like claw like cats do, like on the ground, and is like unable to keep on her feet, and she falls over as well. But the falling over does cause the riot to break a little, as people are no longer able to hit each other, but they're like on the ground and they're scrabbling. And a few of them seem, as they like bonk on the ground or as like icy water falls on them, they seem to wake up a little. They're like, what's happening? What am I? But other people are not so woken up. It's a pretty mixed situation going on. And in the meantime, Øka and Manaia, I'm assuming you're helping to reinforce the fencing. Mm-hmm. You're constructing barracks. Let's say just like a walls. And
Øka's not though.
Øka's not?
Can I see anyone I recognize?
Yeah, I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. You see in the mist, the craziness of everything sort of hobbled against a low wall, holding each other is Mama Fish and Ibia. Mama Fish is holding Ibia protectively.
Right in. Going in.
Okay, you hop over the like a low area of the fencing, and people go, "Hey, what the hell are you doing? Don't go in there. It's dangerous."
Okay. I know that I used my Radiant Soul already.
Okay.
But I think that Øka doesn't have a character sheet. They don't fucking know. They just know that they can do it usually once a day. So by their understanding, their magic works through their blood.
I will allow you to use Radiant Soul at a devil's bargain, if you will take it from me.
I'm ready. I'm ready to hear your. I'm listening.
All I'm going to tell you is remember what Dr. Aluso told you about your ki being blocked, your spiritual energy. That condition is going to worsen if you push your body beyond its limits and use Radiant Soul, but I will allow you to use it.
Yep.
Okay. You push yourself. Just
Øka,
go for it.
Jumps, is going to, hurdle over the, oh, they're gonna, I'm sure there are, nails in the wood, right?
Yeah, there are.
They're gonna take a nail, quick, right where it was before, and they're gonna jump over and try really hard, to open up.
And you do. But this opening almost feels painful. It's like when you've reached muscular failure, but you're forcing your body because you have to, because of survival, to push beyond your physical limits. And the wings come out, right? Mm-hmm. The wings rip out of your back, actually, with more pain than usual. And for a moment, actually, you see the skeleton of the wing, where you haven't seen it before, kind of gore-covered skeleton. Coming out of your spine, and a little bit of blood comes out, and then it shudders and goes back to the regular ghostly wings. And that tightness in your chest, that deep golden scar, pulses once, and then fades for now, as you're able to use your radiant soul.
Okay, ouch. Do I take any damage?
No.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, Øka is just getting up and over to where Mama Fish and Evia are.
Okay.
And is as fast as they can. I'm assuming that Mama Fish, since she is an orca, weighs more than Evia does.
Yes.
So Øka's gonna take Evia first.
Okay.
Just grabs her.
Without saying anything?
They're, I don't think they need to.
Okay, you go down, Mama Fish looks up and says, Øka! Evia looks up as well. You see that her face is tear stained. She goes, Dingus? And you just grab her.
Grabs her.
Hey! Wait, take Mama Fish! Take her!
I'm coming back! Shut up!
And she's thrashing, she's screaming in fear and terror as you bring her back over. You drop her down safely.
I basically just drop her.
You drop her, she goes, ah! She falls, you fly back for Mama Fish.
Yeah.
Make a strength check. Okay. She is an orca person. Orcas are heavy.
We have inspiration.
Can I use another one?
Yes, you can use collective inspiration. Y'all have 6 left now.
That's
Orca weight.
Orca weight. You can use another one. Alright, I'm gonna put you down for another inspiration.
No, don't.
Oh, no? Okay, cool. What'd you get?
Instead of picking up Mama Fish, because Øka felt how much that fucking hurt to do.
Okay.
And is instead gonna use their wings to, just make themselves bigger.
Oh, and shield her?
Yeah.
Okay.
And is just gonna pull her along, covering her with as much of them as they can, and they're brandishing their sword on the other side.
Okay, you cover Mama Fish right as a couple of rioters, they look at you frenzied, and they begin to go after you. They see you, but you're with your radiant soul, because of the Devil's Bargain now allow this to be pulled off flawlessly. You cover Mama Fish and you escort her back to the area of fence that wasn't built up, and you manage to help her get over it, and you get over it as well, just as they put up another plank, and those frenzied people, they bash up against the fencing. And now people who have been taken by the rage, they're kind of like zombies, angry, pissed off zombies, begin to bash themselves against the ramparts. But the ramparts hold. They hold. And the captain, it continues to yell at all the adventurers, all of you, to keep building them higher, build them stronger. We'll deal with this later. The fire's out, pull out, pull out. The last of you, pull out. If you haven't been taken, pull out. She's barking and barking and roaring. And for now, the fire is out. Most people have been pulled out if they weren't already rage afflicted. And the ramparts are built. Okay. In the relative unease that settles, right? Y'all can hear the snarling and the roaring and the guttural. You can't see them anymore because the ramparts are built so high up. Maybe they're 7 feet into the air. You could feel people bumping against it, and people continue to reinforce the ramparts, but there's less of the chaos and the panic of earlier. People are just adding wood, and now a small crowd has gathered behind the activity. A bunch of people from this district are of Suraksha are looking, and people are coming out of their homes or poking their heads out of windows and murmuring amongst each other what is going on here. And while everyone begins to continue to reinforce the ramparts, this woman, this captain of the Night Watch, she let me see. She gets up on like a crate and she turns and she says, It's me, Captain Hufya, captain of the Night Watch. We made a decision tonight to fence off the mines for the safety of both the miners and the health of the rest of Dabathati. In no small part due to the fast thinking of these two fine folk. And she gestures toward you, Øka, and you, Manaia. She says, I cannot take credit for their idea. I simply executed it. For now, the ramparts will hold. But a woman steps forward from the crowd and she says, my husband is a miner. I don't see him in there anywhere. Is he okay? What's going on? And Captain Hufya says, we're not entirely sure. All we do know is that some kind of frenzy or contagious rage has taken over the good workers, the good hard-working laborers of the mines of Ujval. We will do our best. The Senate, I'll bring it to the senators, to the consuls. They'll do everything they can to figure out this situation. But for now, I need everyone to go home. If you're not going to pick up a hammer and a plank and nails, go home.
Manaia raises a hand and says, if I may, Captain.
Yes.
She turns to the people. This rage happens periodically, and for longer and longer each time. This too shall pass. It is too dangerous to go in there now, but rest assured, when this passes, we will go in and find as many people alive as we can and bring them back to you.
Yes!
Trust that this will pass.
Yes, exactly. I'm sorry, young woman. What was your name? The young woman from Uhanahi?
Manaia.
Manaia, yes, Manaia. Though she may not be from Dabathati, from Talmud, her words ring true. This will pass. And the woman whose husband is a miner says, What? How do you know? You just said you don't know anything about it. I assure you we're figuring it out, but panicking does no good. Please return to your homes. If you're able, please help us reinforce the wall. And the people, because she is like a well-known figure, leader in Dabathati, people listen to her words and they turn around, they look at each other, they mutter. They look scared, but most people retreat to their homes. Other volunteers step forward to help with reinforcing the ramparts.
Manaia's going to gesture for the rest of the party to come over.
Okay.
As well as Mama Fish.
Okay. And Ibia?
If she wants to tag along.
Ibia's tagging along with Mama Fish. Okay.
Okay.
I think Øka, as once they got over the wall and the chaos was dying down, was like checking over Mama Fish and Ibia for wounds.
They look maybe like a little bruised, battered, but there's no like bite or scratch marks or anything like that. The six of you huddle sort of in like a corner as like the hammering of hammers on nails and the hammering of fists on wall on the other end sort of blend into each other.
Is the captain otherwise unoccupied?
Yeah, she seems to be just directing people. You know, she's like managing a bunch of things, but you could try to talk to her if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Dewey's trying to say something.
Oh, yes.
I'm sorry.
I'm not holding. As I come over and I see that Mama Fish and Ibia are there, I like pull back. And like, what are they doing here? Do you not understand the concept of a quarantine, that anyone who could have been... And I do not get closer.
Okay. Mama Fish and Ibia turn, and Ibia says, "The hell did you just say to me, dingus? Well, you think this isn't like a virus or anything like that?
I don't know what it is."
Yeah, exactly. You don't know, so you're acting so scared. You're acting scared. I'm 14, and I'm braver than you.
I'm not scared. This is just the best way to handle it is to treat it as if it's...
Well, you think you're too good to come close to me, dingus? And Ibia seems to be taking out her fear through anger. But Mama Fish quickly puts two fins on Ibia's shoulders and says, It's okay, Ibia, it's okay. I understand your hesitation, Dewey, I really do. But some information that we saw, I mean, we witnessed this firsthand, up close and personal just now. And if it makes you feel better, Dewey, it doesn't seem to be It seems to be transmitted through getting attacked, assaulted in some way, through the blood. And we got beat up a little, shoved, but I was very careful about protecting Ibia. We weren't bitten or scratched at all.
You don't know that? You just said you got beaten up. I'm not. You need to go back.
Are you calling Mama Fish a liar?
I'm saying you need to take any possible precautions that we can take.
What, are you gonna throw us back in there? You
Don't
monster!
want to, but I can try.
You would throw a 14-year-old kid and an orca back into that pit full of ravenous... You are a soulless monster!
And you're putting all of us at risk.
I wasn't bit! Mama Fish wasn't bit! Don't you think we'd know if someone bit us or scratched us? We were just pushed around, sure, but no one got us!
Yeah. Mama Fish, come with me. I'll check them out, Dewey. I promise. I went in there too. Alright?
I stand 6 feet away from everyone else.
I think our real life traumas are affecting our
Right.
gameplay.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, this isn't a viral infection, y'all. It's not like breathing can transmit it. It's more like a zombie situation. Eva says, fine, dingus. Gives you like one last dingus to Dewey and follows Øka. How about the rest of you?
While they're doing that, V, let's tell the captain what we know.
Okay. Well,
Captain, a word,
from what
we may.
Yes, of course. 1 second, Lieutenant. How can I help?
We have information about what's happening in the mines.
Do you now?
Yes.
Is it private, confidential? Should we...
No, this is important. People should know.
All right. Well, tell me.
Manaia glances at V.
Well, it seems that there is a certain almost magical condition in the mines that produces what people are calling the rage. And when people get this rage, it seems to affect the stronger people worse than weaker people. So sending your strongest in there to fight is actually going to be counterproductive. And on top of that, it seems to be somewhat contagious when raged people attack those who, if they hurt them greatly, which is why our friend Dewey's concerned. But we have been in the mines, we have been looking for causes and conditions, and I believe that we have a pretty solid game plan to go in there once this round of rage passes, to go in there and perhaps end whatever is causing it.
Yes, speaking of that, this happens in increments. They're getting longer and longer and closer together, but everyone has ended so far. All we have to do is wait it out.
That is reassuring. But those who have been rage afflicted, as you call it, do they get afflicted again? Does it come back?
After it ends.
I see. For now, let's keep the wall up until, as she gestures at the banging and the snarling, that dies down. I agree. I do think that we should send a unit in to get to the bottom of exactly what's happening in there. I feel like if it's originating from within the God Spine, it must be able to end from within the God Spine. Though the fact that we need to send the weakest of us does make it difficult. I would want to be there myself, but not to brag at all in any way, but I'm quite able with a sword.
Right, and it is muscular strength and not magical, so I would not do well in there. My friends V and Dewey might do better in there than us.
I see.
Yes, I'm a wonderful sorcerer. You may have heard of me, but that's not important. But we've also gathered...
You give her your business card.
Yes, I have personally taken upon myself to recruit very powerful magic users to help us along in this journey that are agreed to help us. And so I look forward to going in there soon, and we will wipe out whatever is causing this.
Further, we don't know how long in between the instances we'll have, but that does give us a period of time where we can send in anyone safely, as far as we can tell.
I see. Well,
So as soon as it ends, we'll be on a timer.
I see.
I know I'll be going in.
Do you know how much of a timer, or do you know anyone who would be able to figure that out?
I'm not good with math. Dewey, have you... And she turns over to Dewey, standing a few feet away.
I've almost certainly calculated it. I don't have it on my
You actually calculated it, like, out of character?
No, I'm saying Dewey, I'm sure, has calculated it.
Okay. She says, there is another way in. These mines, they predate Dabathati. They've been there for a long, long time. I'm sure you've heard the stories. The tourist traps love talking about it. All of Dabathati used to be a tomb to the giants. At least that's what we tell the tourists, to sell gems and money and make money and that sort of thing. You get it. We're a city. We have to keep our coffers intact somehow. Because of that, there are alternate ways into the mines. Through the canyon. I've heard there are secret passageways located in Dabathati as well. To make our way in. So if we didn't want to wait, we could use one of these passages, get past those who are rage-struck, and go right into the mines.
It affects people in an area. I wouldn't take the risk of getting anywhere near until this passes.
Very well. We can play it safe as well.
Further, there is an entrance that opened up in the mines. It seems to be some sort of perfectly circular tunnel that goes deeper beyond where they've been able to dig.
That is odd. I'll have to tell my consul about this. He will want to know. I'll make sure he knows. Speaking of which, Lieutenant, please send a message to Abramed for me, won't you? And Lieutenant, this like little gnome woman, says, "Yes, Captain," and runs off to deliver this message. She turns back to you and says, "Very well, then let's wait it out. And you there, Dewey, was it? You seem to be good at maths, if your spectacles are anything to judge by it. How much time do you think we have after this rage ends?"
Does it coincide with, did the waves of rage coincide with the spikes of magic?
You're not sure. You can try to make a few rolls to figure out based on the information you have and your deductions.
Okay.
So what, hold on, don't roll yet. What's the information you have? What are you putting together?
So I know that the spikes of magic that Dr. Lusso was calculating are getting closer together.
Mm-hmm.
And then one is supposed to happen in another 3.4 years.
Mm-hmm. More like 3 years at this point. Maybe
Okay.
3.2 or whatever.
So it's almost like it has a half-life.
Yes, and you do know, based on conversations you had with Mama Fish and the other miners, is that the first kind of wave of rage happened about a month ago. And then they seem to come, like, every couple weeks, and, like, shortening every time.
Okay, how many waves of rage have happened?
You're not sure. It seems to be, like, several. That you weren't given a hard number. The person who would know would be Mama Fish or Ebia.
Well, they're a biohazard.
Speaking of which, okay, you have pulled.
They're a biohazard.
Yeah, you've pulled Mama Fish and Ebia off to the side. How are you doing this visual examination? Are you just asking them to take their clothes off?
No. I mean, like, Øka's, like feeling, ha, 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 ha. I can do blood magic. I almost forgot.
Everybody, let's do some blood magic.
Let's do dark magic with our blood.
Take it off, everybody, take it off.
Since I already kind of did something fucked up,
You're gonna push your luck again? What are you trying to do, okay?
well, I still have my Radiant Soul. It's probably petered out at this point, and I think it hurts when it does.
Mm-hmm.
It, like, cracks.
So what are you trying to do?
I am trying to, just with my knowledge of my, like, blood work and like my own understanding, just basically do a medicine check like over their bodies.
Okay, make a medicine check. Over their bodies.
Do I get advantage because I'm blood?
No. You're not a cleric.
I'm not a cleric, but I have
Your
a
understanding of the body,
wounds.
your understanding of the body is how to break it, not mend it.
But I could find any breaks. I know where the breaks are.
Just make a straight medicine check for me. You can use inspiration if you want.
It wasn't a 20, but it was close. Medicine. That's a 17.
17. Okay. You go over Mama Fish. She seems to be like a little bruised, like battered around maybe. There's a few scrapes on her body, but no like bite or like claw marks. Her clothes are a little tattered. And she seems to have like a big bruise like on her left fin. You check Ibia, similar situation, a little banged up, some scruffs, some scrapes. But no, like you see like a scraped knee. Looks scraped pretty, she got pretty good. But no like bite or claw marks either.
Øka just kind of nods. Just stay here for now. Once the rage dies down, I'm sure Dewey will be... Øka says, just stay here for now. I'm sure once the rage passes, Dewey will calm down.
I don't know why that Featherbrain was getting so all up in my business. I told them we weren't bit, we weren't scratched. Do you think we're a liar?
Øka rolls their eyes, and like just kind of like scruffs over Evia's head a little bit. Yeah, well, you look like a liar.
Well, I wouldn't lie about something like this.
Hey, you're very brave, alright? I'll give you that. And you're gonna be fine. Just stay here, okay? We'll need your expertise for later, so we're just making sure you're safe. Alright?
Well, whatever, I don't care what you think, dingus. She turns around and just crosses her arms. And Mama Fish like pats her on the back and says, I was able to save this for you, Øka. And pulls out a fish skewer.
Literally, I feel like you hide those in your clothes.
I do. Here.
Mama Fish, are you okay?
Please eat this.
I'm going to eat it. Fine. Øka takes it, but doesn't eat it quite yet.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Øka, darling. What Ibia and I saw is very traumatic. We'll have to process it.
I understand. Just holler when you're ready, okay?
We will. And hey, I know you're trying to solve what's going on. Did you find Ravi yet?
Brum, brum. Motorcycle. No, she wasn't in the pits.
No, not in the pits. Well, that's too bad.
Yeah.
I could have sworn that's where she'd be, but oh well. I'm sure she'll turn up somewhere. If it makes you feel better, she wasn't with the miners as well. And hey, I know you're going to ask us for more information later, but the miners that were missing, they came back. That's how all this started. They came back and started attacking. Got more and more of us. But Ravi wasn't with them, so maybe that's a good sign?
Uh-huh. Øka just kind of nods slowly and takes a bite of fish.
Okay. Delicious, right?
It's good.
You gain 1 temporary hit point.
Fuck yeah, I do.
And you reconvene with your group.
Should we end there since we're 10 after 5:30? Or unless Dewey wants to do more.
So Dewey, let's do like one last thing and then conclude, like with all of y'all together. Maybe form like a battle plan for next episode or something. All right, so the 4 of you reconvene. What do you say?
They look fine, Dewey, but I'm willing to wait until the rage passes.
I wouldn't wait too long. It seems like, depending on how many waves have happened already, we have anywhere from 2 days to a week before it happens again.
2 days. That's enough time.
I managed to get us a healer from the Chrysalis who is going to help us out.
Good, we'll need them.
So who's going?
Should we reconvene for the night, have a rest? Hopefully this wave is over in the morning, and then we can't wait too long to go back in there immediately.
I suppose so. Whatever lodgings we come up with, though, we should try to find some for our friends. And she gestures, nods at Mama Fish, Ibia, and any other miners who got out.
I could buy us a nice hotel room on
You
me.
you could, V, you could.
Finally putting a use to that glove of yours, huh?
I'm just not, I cannot sleep again in those bunk beds one more night.
Oh, V.
Captain,
Yes,
you'll take care of them.
you're gesturing to Mama Fish and Ibia. Yes,
There are miners who are no longer able to.
the displaced miners will set up some tents in Suraksha. I'll talk to my consul about it, and probably we'll have to talk to the consul of Suraksha as well, because this is her district. But don't worry, I'll take care of the displacement. The four of you should get some rest.
I would say to you, if these displaced folks need food and any help, I would recommend you go to the Chrysalis. They would be willing to help you.
The Chrysalis, they're a sham group that worship a false god.
This is true,
you know,
but they are willing to help. And why would you turn down free food for displaced individuals?
we take care of our own. We don't need the help of some devil worshipping organization. Look, because you're with the two of them, and she gestures to Øka and Manaia, I'll let what you said slide, but we don't. The people of Dabathati have spoken. The vote's gonna put an end to it. We don't consort with the likes of cults here.
They are not
V,
I won't say much more. I've seen the homeless in this city being helped more by the Chrysalis than I have by your
V,
city.
let's not
Then
damage our reputation.
surely you've also heard of the rumors of them disappearing. Look, I don't know what this.
I've been inside the Chrysalis. I've seen every inch of their facilities. They are wonderful human beings.
You've what?
Look, you're lucky I'm busy and have other matters to attend to, but I won't forget what you said, elf. And this Leonin sort of pins you with a glare.
Manaia, trying to recover the situation, says, "We appreciate all that you are doing for the people and hope that this rage will pass and the council will deal with this in a civil way."
Yes, thank you, Manaia. You're a great diplomat for your home kingdom. I will make sure that is passed on to the consuls. There's a vote happening tomorrow anyway. I'll make sure all of this is addressed during the meeting of the Senate. What to do about the mines. I know the consuls have been putting it off. There have been other things on their plate, the refugee crisis, but this, as she gestures toward what just happened, will definitely push that up in the priority order.
Now, and she turns to the rest of the party, looking pointedly at V. Let's find a place to rest.
Okay. We can end it there, if y'all want. Just as a reminder, you do want to check in with Dr. Aluso.
Okay.
About next session, about everything that's happened.
We're 45 past though.
45 past, exactly.
Yeah.
Woo! What a session! Am I right, y'all? So much has happened. Thank you to everyone who watched that session. We really, really, really appreciate everyone who subbed. We got 4 new subs. 1 more until we get another collective inspiration. We're starting to run a little low. We only have 6. Only 6 collective inspiration. I'm sure y'all are gonna need it for when you actually plumb the mines. That's gonna be fun. So yeah, join us next week. That is going to be Saturday, November 14th at 3 p.m. CST Central Standard Time, right here at Transplanar RPG, to see what kind of devil's bargain did Øka just make with Connie, the GM, to be able to use that kind of a radiant soul. Is Manaia okay? Is Manaia traumatized? What's happening with Manaia? Is she gonna have to deal with that? Dewey, Oofta, Dewey, a lot's happened. Is the Myriad gonna come back at any point? This agreement, this negotiation he made with the Chrysalis, what's gonna happen? What are with these rumors of people disappearing? Is it related to the people that they're feeding, apparently, to these little chicken people, chicken monsters? And of course, for the entire party, what's happening at the mines? The stakes are being raised. More miners are getting affected. Are we gonna get to the bottom of what's going on inside the God Spine? Join us next week for that. And of course, for this coming Tuesday, that is going to be November 17th, as well as this coming Wednesday, that is going to be November 18th at 7 p.m. Central, both times for our group and solo gaming nights. We are going to be playing either Stardew Valley, or Hades with C, or Overcooked 2, or Overwatch. We'll figure it out. Keep your eyes peeled. Follow us on Twitter for the latest updates, Transplanar RPG. I'm Connie. You can find me on Twitter at @byconniechang. I am the GM and executive producer. Let's pass it around to Devin.
Hi, my name's Devin. I use they, them pronouns. C, thank you for putting the Discord link in chat. Join the Discord. That's literally the only place I am on the internet. Pass it on to Max.
I'm Max. I go by they, them pronouns. You can find me on Instagram and Tumblr at Starch. C.
Hi, I'm C. I use they, them pronouns. I played Øka. I'm a dancer, digital artist, and sharing Connie's mic, so I was low today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I have commissions open. I did the art that you can see on the waiting room screens and around the room here. Join our Discord, hang out with us. See you next week. And Erica!
I'm Erica, she, her, and I played Vnox Scherzo, and you can find me on social media at Erica New Girl, and come join me on Discord this next week as I play the game Visage. The full game was released last week, and I have to start the game from scratch in order to beat the rest of the game. So if you like scary games, or you just like laughing at people being scared out of their minds, come join me at Erica New Girl on Twitch. I will pass it back to Connie.
Wonderful. And with that, I'm going to start a raid to Dicey Amazons. They're great. They're an all women of color, a queer-led tabletop variety streaming channel. So stick around. I think they're also playing tabletop games. So if you haven't got your fill of D&D, go try a different system, see what they're doing.
And drop Manaia love in the chat when you do.
Drop Manaia love in the chat when we raid and say we're from Transplanar. Thank you all so much. We love y'all. Join us next week for episode 12. What the hell is going to happen? Peace.